Call Hindu gods the ugliest of names. You can brazenly hold up Hindu texts like the Ramcharitmanas and burn it. You can smash Hindu idols of gods. You can squat on Hindu temples. And the state can waltz in and take over Hindu temple land. It almost appears that Hindus don't count, their sentiments even less. And that's perhaps the reason why workers linked to the Samajwadi Party's Neta SP Maurya can burn an ode to Lord Ram. The burning of the Ramcharitmanas was in part provoked by Maurya's rant against the book that he gratuitously labeled anti-Dalit and discriminatory. Incidentally, after his scurrilous characterization, Maurya was not just feted but even promoted by his party boss Akhilesh Yadav. Wonder, viewers, if Mr. Yadav had acted with such magnanimity if Maurya had set afire the books of other faiths. The answer, of course, is no. Remember, Akhilesh is only following in the traditions of his late father Mulayam Singh Yadav, who had ordered the police in Uttar Pradesh to fire on car sevaks in 1990. Viewers, as I said, the last person who criticized the Quran and demanded that a certain number of verses must be deleted was hounded so much that he changed his religion to Hindu. I told you that person's name, Jitendra Narayan Singh Tyagi, or at least the name now that he goes by. I also told you, viewers, that Dr. Anand Ranganathan, who is here tonight on this show, will tell you how he has been reduced to a symbol of Islamophobia for merely citing what is in the book. Only the courage of his convictions keeps him going. Well, viewers, look at the different standards. The Samajwadi Party may be lionizing Maurya, but Times Now confronted the Samajwadi Party General Secretary, and he went on to not only justify his act that many people believe is one of heresy, but also, viewers, he went on to dare the Hindu community. Viewers, this is plain incitement. But as I told you, he will not be called a Hindu phobe. He will be called a reformist voice within the Hindu fold. Viewers, listen to this interaction between Times Now and this individual.
सरकार के दबाव में एफआईआर कितनी भी हो जाए, अगर हम महिलाओं के सम्मान की बात कर रहे हैं, आदिवासियों, दलितों, पिछड़ों को सम्मान दिलाने की बात कर रहे हैं, तो ये बात चलती रहेगी। एक नहीं 1000 एफआईआर हो जाए तो भी सच करने से पीछे नहीं रहेंगे।
उसमें अरेस्टिंग हो गई पुलिस ने अभी 2 मिनट पहले ही मैसेज दिया है कि 5 लोगों को गिरफ्तार कर लिया गया, जो इसमें 5 आरोपी।
मुझे भी गिरफ्तार कर ले। जब मौके में मैं था ही नहीं तो मेरा नाम कैसे आ गया? मैं तो उल्टा पुलिस पर एफआईआर करवा दूंगा। जब जिस घटना से मेरा कोई ताल्लुकात नहीं, जिस घटने में मौके में मेरी परछाई तक नहीं गई, उस एफआईआर में मेरा नाम कैसे आ गया? अब स्वाभाविक रूप से भाजपा सरकार इस देश की महिलाओं, आदिवासियों, दलितों, पिछड़ों के सम्मान की विरोधी है। इसलिए महिलाओं, आदिवासियों, दलितों, पिछड़ों को अपमानित करने वालों के साथ भाजपा खड़ी है।
तो आप इनकी लड़ाई लड़ते रहेंगे?
इसमें भी कोई शक, अभियान चलता रहेगा।
और कार्रवाई होगी तो?
सच की बात करना अपराध नहीं, किसी पुस्तक का विवादित अंश निकालने की मांग करना अपराध नहीं, महिलाओं को सम्मान दिलाने की बात करना अपराध नहीं। मेरे न रहने पर भी मेरा नाम एफआईआर में शामिल करना अपने आप मालूम होता है कि ये दबाव में थाने में बैठकर मजबूरी में एफआईआर लिखी गई है, झूठी एफआईआर लिखी गई है।
Others in the so-called left secular ecosystem too have banded together to either justify the burning of the Hindu holy text or turn a blind eye towards this alleged heresy. Viewers, watch on.
मैं आपसे कह रहा हूं, धार्मिक ग्रंथ के खिलाफ कोई नहीं है, ना मैं खिलाफ हूं। भगवान श्री राम के खिलाफ कोई नहीं है, रामचरितमानस के खिलाफ कोई नहीं। हमसे बोलो रामचरितमानस के खिलाफ नहीं है। स्टेटमेंट दिया है, कहा है कि मुख्यमंत्री अगर योगी न होते, धार्मिक स्थान से वहां आए होते, तो शायद वो सवाल मैं न पूछता उनसे। मैं मुख्यमंत्री जी से पूछने जा रहा हूं कि मैं शूद्र हूं कि नहीं हूं। बीजेपी वाले ये बताएं उनके नेता क्या क्या कहते हैं।
मैंने शुरू से एक बात कही कि जब स्वामी प्रसाद मौर्य ने यह बयान दिया तो स्वामी प्रसाद मौर्य के समाज का कोई भी मौर्य उनके विरोध में नहीं आया। मैं समझता हूं कि सबको अपनी बात रखने का हक है। अगर किसी का अपमान हो रहा है और वो उस पर अपनी आवाज़ उठा रहा है तो उसको सुना जाना चाहिए।
It is internal matter of Samajwadi Party whether he was appointed as General Secretary or whatever he is.
Meanwhile, the BJP, viewers, has lashed out at the SP General Secretary and Akhilesh Yadav for trying to stay relevant by spewing hate, especially hate against Hindus. Watch this.
उनके पास कहने को कुछ बचा नहीं। सब फ्रस्ट्रेटेड लोग हैं, चुके हुए लोग हैं। जनता ने बुरी तरह नकार दिया है। केवल सामाजिक वैमनस्यता फैला करके वो अखबार में आना चाहते हैं। जनता उनके असलियत को अच्छी तरह समझ चुकी है।
मी डिसाइड केला या देशामध्ये जिथे जिथे हनुमंताला विरोध होईल, रामाला विरोध होईल, डोक्यावर भगवा आणि कफन बांधून त्यांच्या समोर सगळ्यात पहिले नवनीत राणा उभा राहील आणि नवनीत राणा तिथे उभी राहील।
Let's open this up, viewers. Let's ask some basic questions here tonight, especially those that expose the hypocrisy of the ecosystem. And let me begin with Sameer Singh, spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party, since it is a leader of his party that has gone out to denounce the Ramcharitmanas, and because of his words, his aides have come out and burnt this holy text. Now, Sameer Singh ji, your boss Akhilesh Yadav ji says very clearly that there is no problem in seeking the deletion of so-called regressive excerpts of holy textbooks. So let me ask you, do you support the same demand from the former chief of the Shia board, Mr. Rizvi, who said that certain problematic verses of the Quran should also be deleted? Do you support that?
Rahul, first of all, because since we are talking about SP Maurya ji and his statements, and you've brought along our Honorable President Sir's remarks into this, then first of all, I'd like to clarify the stand of Samajwadi Party on this entire propaganda that has been created, or the entire incident that has happened. The way we are seeing it, the way it's coming out in the televisions, the way the BJP is trying this to make this as an opportunity to defame the Samajwadi Party and to call us anti-Hindus or people who do not support or believe in Lord Rama, this is absolutely false. And I think the statement that you played, the Honorable National President's statement that you played, it clearly mentions and it clearly states that we are not against Lord Ram. Nobody is. We are not against the entire book, the Ramcharitmanas that is in question here. We are only supporting SP Maurya in his demands that if certain sections, if certain verse, if certain part of the scripture that is demeaning towards a certain section of the society, be it women, be it the lower class or the OBCs and the Dalits, right, then I don't see any harm in doing that, because I don't think, in fact, today at this debate we are sitting, can any panelist support that verse we will be talking about? Comparing animals with women and Shudras.
Sameer ji,
and then
since you asked me about any panelist,
hatred and abuse,
okay, Sameer ji, you haven't answered my question. I'm only saying you can burn the Ramcharitmanas. As Swami Prasad Maurya, who has been now promoted in your party.
No, we can't burn the Ramcharitmanas.
One second.
That is what the entire point is, Rahul.
Sameer ji, 1 second. Please don't speak over me.
Can you just allow me to
No,
complete?
1 second. 1 second, please.
No. Okay, Rahul,
are you wanting to do one-upmanship here, or are you wanting to listen to the follow-up question and you can answer?
Okay with burning the Ramcharitmanas? No, we are not.
Then why is Swami Prasad Maurya's entire clique of closed aides tearing up the Ramcharitmanas and burning it, and why is Swami Prasad Maurya, who has nothing nice to say about the book and is even justifying its burning, being promoted in your party, sir?
Rahul, see, first of all, this is mere coincidence that the National Samajwadi Party's national executive members have been, have been announced yesterday, and Swami Prasad Maurya's name is it. It's not because what he's said, what he's done in the past couple of days.
So you support the removal of problematic verses.
Later on.
Samit Singh ji, you support the removal of problematic verses. You are not addressing the question of the burning of the Ramcharitmanas. For a moment, let's set that aside. Let's talk about how you want certain problematic verses deleted, right? At least you agree to this? Yes? Yes or no?
Yes, we do.
Yes, you do.
That's the entire thing. Nowhere
has. So can I ask you a follow-up question? With your permission, sir, can I ask you a formal? Can you answer a follow-up question with your permission? I'll only take your permission since you want to speak the most. So you tell me, do I have your permission to ask the question? Yes, no.
Rahul, I'm not speaking the most. You asked me a question.
So let me ask you, should certain parts of the Quran or the Hadith, should certain parts of the Quran or Hadith also be deleted? And also problematic verses from the Bible, should they also be deleted, sir?
Rahul, I'm sorry because I cannot answer to this question, and it has nothing to do with what religion they belong to. It's just that I don't belong to that religion. I don't know what those verses are. I am a Hindu. I am a Sanatan, and if my religion, because I consider Hindu a very pious religion, and it has been over and over told, and also by the Supreme Court said that it's a way of life. So I am a Hindu, I am a Sanatani, and if I find something wrong in my religion, I have every right to question it or ask.
So then tell me something.
About it.
So then tell me something. So then tell me something. So then tell me something.
As any guru.
Okay, so tell me something. Akhilesh Yadav, this is what he said about Nupur Sharma. Nupur Sharma, who found fault in some other religion. On that, Akhilesh Yadav was holding forth. He was not like you, who's only concerned with the Hindu faith. On Nupur Sharma, he says the BJP leaders should be arrested for the unrest in Kanpur due to the provocative statement given by BJP spokesperson Nupur Sharma due to the failure of police intelligence. He says not only the face, a reference to Nupur Sharma, but the body should also apologize, which is a reference to the BJP, and should also be punished for disturbing the unrest and harmony in the country. Now let me also tell you, viewers, this gentleman, Akhilesh Yadav, how he thinks so differently from Mahatma Gandhi, a fellow Hindu. Mahatma Gandhi said this about the Ramcharitmanas, viewers. Mahatma Gandhi, who everyone will argue is perhaps the truest Ram Bhakt in modern India, died taking his name. He said, my Ram, the Ram of our prayers, is not the historical Ram, the king of Ayodhya. He's the eternal, the unborn, the one without a second. Call him Ishwar, Allah, God, Ahura Mazda. His names are innumerable. He is timeless, formless, stainless. Stainless. Him alone I worship. Mahatma Gandhi found no problems. But the Samajwadi Party spokesperson Samir Singh selectively focuses on the Ramcharitmanas. He has a problem. His party promotes a person who has a problem and forgets that hundreds and thousands of Hindus today are upset by the characterization of Mr. Maurya, who has called the Ramcharitmanas all that he has called it, and because of his statements, his aides, his supporters have felt emboldened to burn the book. Now viewers, had this been any other book, I'll tell you what would have happened. SP Maurya would have been thoroughly denounced. A fatwa would have been issued on his head had it been against the Quran. And let me also tell you, viewers, Akhilesh Yadav would have upheld the fatwa, but not when it comes to a Hindu text. Why? That's the fundamental question. Dr. Ranganathan, what do you think?
Rahul, let's be very honest about it. had a book of some religion other than Hinduism being burned publicly, this country would have erupted in a civil war. It is easy to mock and ridicule Hinduism because there is no danger of being beheaded. There is no concept of blasphemy. Rahul, we need to understand the millions who pour onto the streets every second month demanding Sar Tan Se Juda. They are not mad. They are not terrorists. They are not fanatics. They are simply following religious fundamentals. They are all very law abiding. Their law is Sharia. The obvious question then to ask is there Islamic sanction for punishing blasphemy? The answer is yes, there is. Allah has specifically ordered that those who abuse Allah and His Messenger, Allah has cursed them in this world and the hereafter and prepared for them a humiliating punishment, 3357. And that the penalty for those who wage war against Allah and His Messenger, the crime, if you remember, Ayatollah accused Rushdie of, is that they be killed, 533. The Sahih Muslim Hadith 194436 specifically quotes Prophet Muhammad as saying, quote, "Who will kill Kaab Ashraf the poet? He has maligned Allah the Exalted and His Messenger," unquote. So anyone who is perceived to have blasphemed will sooner or later meet the fate of Kamlesh Tiwari. And now the situation is such that one can't even quote Islamic scriptures as Nupur did, or even support her right to do so as Taylor Kanhaiya Lalji did. We actually are for handing out punishment for blasphemy, but only if blasphemy is carried out against Islam. Remember how PM Manmohan Singh demanded an apology from Denmark for prophet cartoons. Remember how Sonia Gandhi publicly apologized to the Shahi Imam. But when it comes to Hinduism, it is a free-for-all. All those Gaumutra jibes, terming Hindu god Parashurama a terrorist and a rapist, celebrating Tipu Jayanti, praying at the tomb of Aurangzeb, burning Hindu holy books, you name it. And if the idea is to demean Hinduism, they have done it. Now let me come to the very important second issue. Rahul, Hinduism has survived 5 millennia and more because it imbibes the scientific virtues of diversity, empathy, independent thought, and reform. In Hinduism, religion is an offshoot of the way of life. While in Abrahamic ideologies, way of life is an offshoot of religion. It follows that the former is less shackled by rigidity or by rules and diktats and is more mutable, celebrating diversity of its followers. As always, the source, the fountainhead, dictates the mutability and eagerness to change. In Hinduism, there are sects that promote and celebrate atheism, Charvaks. There are sects that reject Vedas altogether, Lingayats. How gloriously ironical is that? Rejecting your holy scriptures and yet being proud Hindus. Can this happen in any other religion? Hinduism is an all-accepting, all-questioning idea. It teaches us to mock all isms except criticism. And it'll be a sorry day when we relinquish that.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you. We should never relinquish that feature. But that also doesn't mean that we should accept every unqualified abuse. In fact, Dr. Ranganathan, I would disagree with you. I don't even think that the Hindu way is a way of life. It is actually a view on life. It doesn't even prescribe a way, let alone anything, since you have elaborated on the example. It's just a view on life. And it is quite capable of undergoing many mutations. The problem is when people try to politicize, appease by tearing up Hindu textbooks. Why should you be tearing up and burning Hindu textbooks when Hindus are very capable of reinterpreting all that has been said and also left unsaid? In fact, a lot that is left unsaid has also been reinterpreted, viewers, in a manner to make it seem that it's a view worth following. So burning is to take advantage. It is to mock and insult this tolerance. And that's where the problem is. Danish Bhai, I'm sure you will not agree with this action of burning the Ramcharitmanas. I'm sure you will say that this is wrong. Through dialogue, through open conversations, very permitted in the Hindu view of life, this could have been done. And the Samajwadi Party should take action against Mr. Maurya. I'm sure you will say that tonight. At least I hope you will.
Rahul, now the thing is, first of all, India has come in this type of communal hatred after 2014. What that the Yogi government is doing when in UP there's such situation held with Ramcharitmanas. My good friend Anand was saying that if any other religious book has been burnt like this, nation converts under the civil war. I want to ask him, in November 2022 in Shahjahanpur 4 copies of Quran was been burnt and protest was been held. Till today, is UP is under the civil war, Mr. Anand? No. But the problem is the people, those who have raised the question, diplomatic discussion should be held with them. It is the duty of the Samajwadi Party. I think Mr. Akhilesh Yadav has clarified his stand on the issue, asking that either मैं योगी जी से पूछूंगा सदन में कि मैं शूद्र हूं
दानिश
या
भाई,
नहीं।
नुपुर तलवार apologized. दानिश भाई, नुपुर शर्मा apologized. She too apologized. You are saying that this gentleman clarified. Nupur Sharma, no, 1 second. Danish bhai, Nupur Sharma, forget about what she did, what she didn't do. I'm just saying, she apologized for everything. She said, sorry. I'm sorry. Are you today suggesting that the burning of the Ramcharitmanas is okay? दानिश भाई, I'm asking you a simple question. मैंने आपको ज्योग्राफी नहीं पूछी, हिस्ट्री भी नहीं पूछी.
No religious book should be no.
Yes. No. So should I then? Can you tell the Samajwadi Party?
किताब के साथ ऐसा
Can
नहीं
you
होना
tell the
चाहिए.
Samajwadi Party? दानिश भाई, नहीं. But क्या? But क्या? सीधा बोलिए. Not allowed. It should not happen. You can discuss it. You can have a discourse on it. You can have a debate on it. You can come on television and talk about it. But you cannot burn it. And don't put any but, because tomorrow, sir, when there are people who come out and blaspheme you, don't then say but. You get it? Danesh Qureshi, I hope you understand that. Don't create two laws. Don't create two approaches. What is wrong is wrong. There is no but. I hope you understand. Yes, since you were asked, Dr. Ranganathan, since you drew your name into the conversation.
Rahul, listen to me.
Danish bhai, please.
शर्म कीजिए दानिश भाई, शर्म कीजिए कुछ. बट मत लगाइए. जो गलत है गलत है.
अच्छा, मतलब वो शर्म ना करें जिन्होंने देश का ये हाल बना रखा है.
डॉक्टर
राहुल जी वो शर्म ना करें जिन्होंने देश का ये हाल बना रखा है.
किसकी बात कर रहे हैं?
आखिरकार ये बात यहाँ पहुंचा कैसे?
मुर्तजा की बात कर रहे हैं.
पहुंचा.
Are you talking about Murtaza, who some of your friends
तमाम लोगों की बात कर रहा हूं. तमाम लोगों की बात कर रहा हूं जो इस देश में धार्मिक स्थान तोड़ने की मूवमेंट चला रहे हैं. मैं उन लोगों की बात कर रहा हूं.
Danish Qureshi, do not sit here and try and spread
about the people,
and fan hate.
Who have started
you must
the political movement
you must
to demolish a religious
you must
place of
condemn
one
violence. You must condemn violence. Excuse me.
This is the
you must
history,
condemn
this
violence.
Is the fact.
In every,
nobody can change this.
You must condemn violence against holy texts.
Yes, we are condemning
Good,
violence.
then leave it at that.
But
no,
we
but
need peace
what
in
but?
the country.
What but? What but? What but are you talking about?
But we need a peace.
Sir, just because you know, just because you know
Rahul.
three letters of the English language doesn't mean, sir, that you use them gratuitously. Do not use the word but. There is no if and but.
No issue.
Good. Now you keep quiet for 30 seconds.
If you are much
Dr.
educated,
Ranganathan wants to respond.
Keep it with you, Rahul. That's good for you.
Danish bhai, please allow me. I've been listening very patiently to you. I respect you a lot. Please, we are having a very sensible discussion.
नहीं आप बोलिए राहुल भाई, कोई issue नहीं. बस आनंद जी बोलिए.
Thank you. You know, just two very quick rebuttals. One, Danish bhai said no religious book should be burnt. Does he mean to say any non-religious book can be burnt? I mean, for example, I'm a Darwinian atheist. Tomorrow you will start burning Darwin's Origin of Species. Book burning is a psychopathic act.
Yeah.
No one should be burning books, period. Religious or non-religious. Number two, look at the facetious, I'm sorry to use this word, argument of Danish bhai. He has so quickly forgotten that Nupur quoted what was derived from the hadiths. Now, let me give you one example. About a month ago, Rahul, I'm not going to go into what he quoted all because obviously I have done it before. But the fact remains that a person who's a teacher who teaches for UPSC, he quoted something that the Hindus took umbrage at, and then a digital channel had to come live with that gentleman And that person brought Mahabharata and all the Hindu holy scriptures to show that what he had quoted was in fact a verse. So I want one question. If that digital channel can do that for Hindu verse, why couldn't it do it for the verses that Nupur quoted from Islamic holy scriptures, hadiths? Because there is fear and trembling. Because people like Danish Saab will not accept it. The fact that millions poured onto the street demanding the head of Nupur. That is the reason. There is fear and trembling, Rahul, and I also am subject to it. You also. This is the tragedy of this world.
And no one will speak up. No one will speak up. Nobody. Everyone will label people so that their families, so that they get into trouble, their heads are cut off, their family members are assaulted. No one, viewers, will come and help you. And then they say, oh, see, these people deserved it. Deserved what? Deserved what? Asking a few questions, legitimate ones. Let me bring in Tehseen Poonawala. Now, he's a modern individual, even though he comes from the Congress party that is stuck today in an old appeasement politics. But nonetheless, I'm sure he'll take a progressive view tonight. Tehseen Poonawala, Gandhi ji, no less a human being than Gandhi ji, one of the founders of the great independence movement, at least in the modern era, Tehseen Poonawala, has said that the Ramcharitmanas is the greatest book in all devotional literature. Today it is being torn up, burnt by Samajwadi Party Neta's aides. How do you respond to this, Mr. Poonawala? Because Samir Singh is brazening it out. No problems. Take out the verses, he says. Take them out. If not, I'll burn them. His party members say. None of those party members have been pulled up, show-caused. In fact, one of those chaps has been promoted. Can you believe it? Tehseen Poonawala. How do you react?
Good evening, Rahul. And I am shocked, and I continue to remain shocked. And I remain shocked that every month, Anand and me have to come on to your debate, and we have to repeat the same thing again and again. You have an absolute right to disagree with a lot of things, with whichever books you want, whether it is a religious book or a non-religious book, with a TV channel. But that does not give you the right to destroy something. If I don't want to watch, if somebody does not want to watch Times Now, change the channel. You cannot threaten Rahul Shivshankar, who I know gets threatened day in and day out, and the channel be threatened that we will burn down the building. You don't like a book, please shut the book and don't read it. You cannot burn a book. If the shoe is reversed, if the shoe is put in the other foot, if this was any other book, how would people react? When somebody burnt the Holy Quran in Sweden, lot of people, lot of Indians of different faiths condemned it. If we can condemn the burning of one book, why aren't we condemning the burning of every book, religious or not religious? And for the disclosure, I am an atheist. It is not correct to burn books. If you don't like a painting, get out of the gallery and don't watch the painting. You don't like a movie, don't buy tickets and don't watch it. If you watch the tickets and you don't like it, get out of the cinema theater. Don't threaten people and don't burn books and art, cinema or religious books. It's not accepted. Coming to the next point. You're right. All religions require some amount of reforms, whether it is Manu, Chapter 7, 272, 8, 374. That also talks about violence. That's fine. But you cannot indulge in violence when you have somebody's head being cut off. And I've said this repeatedly on your show. Sir Tan Se Juda is a terrorist slogan. It should be dealt with a terrorist way. The person sitting here who is an MIM supporter, it was an MIM MLA who actually said that Nupur Sharma should be hung to death. You cannot kill people. The Supreme Court let her down. And that is not uniformly applicable to people of other religions. Sure. I can't read what you say. I'm getting distracted.
Danish Qureshi.
Rahul, can I just come for 5 seconds, please?
Yes, Dr. Rangana.
This is a statement of Danish Qureshi Shahab. Can you please explain to your viewers why he was arrested for commenting on the shivling found inside the Kashi Vishwanath temple? Danish Sahab, आपने क्या कहा था?
And that's my problem. This polarizes society.
आनंद जी, मैटर इज पेंडिंग बिफोर द ऑनरेबल कोर्ट और मैं चाहूंगा कि इस पे ना ही बात की जाए तो ज्यादा बेटर है। राहुल,
ये देखिए अब, now look at this.
बट अब मैं बट बोलूं, नहीं, अब मैं बट बोलूं, should I now say
Live on TV.
but now
नहीं
should
तो
I
आप
say
बोलिए,
but?
अगर आप चाहते हैं, नहीं आप चाहते हैं, आप मुझे
कुरैशी
बोलिए,
साहब,
आप कहिए कि मैटर
कुरैशी
पेंडिंग है, फिर भी बात करें तो
आपके
मैं करता हूं बात।
sentiments-
शुरू करें
आपके sentiments-
फिर शुरू करें राहुल।
रिलैक्स, आपके sentiments are so important। नहीं, 1 minute, आप चीखते रहे।
I am totally relaxed, don't worry,
आपके
don't worry.
sentiments,
If you
आपके
want to-
sentiments
if you want to
matter
start,
more
yes,
than
you can.
the community
दानिश
sentiments।
साहब, ये वो
Your
देश है जहां पे आप मुस्लिम होके कमेंट कर सकते हैं शिवलिंग पे, और आपका सर अभी भी जुड़ा हुआ है आपके तन से। आप जरा एक बार अल्लाह या प्रॉफिट और कुरान शरीफ के बारे में कुछ ऐसा करके दिखाइए, तब पता चलेगा आपको। प्लीज रिस्पेक्ट आवर डेमोक्रेसी।
आनंद जी, आज चर्चा इस पे नहीं हो रही है।
नहीं,
पे
जरूर।
बहुत चर्चा हो
वो तो
चुकी,
inconvenient
और
है।
मैं अपना क्लैरिफिकेशन भी
वो तो inconvenient है, इसीलिए चर्चा नहीं करेंगे उस पे।
आनंद जी,
बट बोलेंगे।
आप टाइम्स नाउ भी देख लीजिएगा, उस पर डिस्कशन कर। नहीं, बट क्यों बोलेंगे? राहुल, आप कहिए कि आप शुरू करें, मैटर पेंडिंग है, मैं अपनी बाउंड्री लाइन बना के रखूंगा, आप कहिए कि शुरू करें, मैं स्टार्ट करता हूं, फिर कोई इश्यू नहीं है। आपकी लायबिलिटी रहेगी आपके चैनल पे।
Danish
तैयारी
Qureshi,
दिखाइए आप।
I am not criticizing
आप
the,
उसमें भी
no,
बात
1
करते
minute,
हैं।
1 minute. Liability,
नहीं, why,
liability,
why,
no,
why,
1 second,
why,
1 second, 1
why
second,
you are
1
saying that,
second.
Rahul?
Let me
Rahul,
expose
why you are
this,
saying
let
that?
me expose this, Mr. Butt.
comment was so offensive.
Let me expose Mr. Butt. When it comes to commenting on viewers, no, 1 second, but
Rahul,
Mr. Butt, 1 minute, Mr.
Go
Butt,
through the record of
Mr.
times
Butt
now.
Qureshi, give me
Go through
30
the
seconds,
record of
Mr.
times
Butt,
now.
Mr.
I
Butt,
have
give me 30
clarified
seconds.
my side.
No,
What I want to-
when
I
it
want to
comes
say
to,
on that
no, 1 second, viewers, this is the same lot that commented on an ongoing court case, viewers, 14 years long. Modi, Gujarat riots. This was the same lot that commented on the Ram Janambhoomi case for not 14 years, viewers, for 130 years. This is the same butt lot. This is the same butt lot that continues to talk about Sadhvi Pragya's case. This is the same butt lot, viewers, let me tell you, that talks about even the Gyan Vapi case, the shivling there. Then it doesn't matter, there is no contempt.
Rahul,
Then
can I
it's
add one
not
line?
sub judice.
Rahul, can I add one line?
They will talk
And what
about
he
the
said was
CAA,
so
they will
offensive.
talk about Article 370,
offensive.
all sub judice. No problems.
Rahul, one line.
They will talk about the hijab, no problems. Even though that case, they will talk about Shabrimala.
Rahul, what
They
is
will talk
problem
about
with you is
this
that,
Mr.
that in
Buttlot.
all
No.
those matter, I am not a party.
Mr. Butt. This
incident
Mr.
which you are
Butt.
talking about, that
Listen.
myself is a
Danish
party in that
Qureshi,
matter.
Danish
That's
Qureshi,
why Mr.
Qureshi,
Superbutt, Rahul,
Danish Qureshi,
Mr. Superbutt,
Danish
try to
Qureshi,
understand what
Danish
issues you
Qureshi
are
sahab,
talking. I am
Danish
not
Qureshi
directly
sahab.
as a party.
I will rest my case. I want to bring in Ratan Sharda Bhai. I also want to bring in Dushyant Sridhar.
That is the allegation on
Rahul, just 10
myself.
seconds. I plead
One
with you
second.
for 10 seconds.
No,
I
if
will-
you want
just
to,
10
if you
seconds.
want to talk on that, I'm sorry, I have to leave the
Just 10
debate.
seconds,
Rahul, I'm not
Only
going to
10
continue with
seconds.
Now
this.
look, he's leaving.
Yeah.
He's leaving now.
He's leaving.
He has said
No, no,
this.
घड़ी देख रहे हैं.
This is not a
अच्छा.
point of laughing.
Okay.
This is not a point of laughing.
Right.
This is not a
Ratan
point of
Sharda.
laughing.
This
Ratan
is a point-
Sharda.
no,
Ratan
Rahul,
Sharda,
5
what are we
seconds.
witnessing here?
Danish is cornered, that's not a matter of laughing.
Ratan
When they
Sharda.
laughed at him, yeah.
What
When
are we
Danish
witnessing
was
here?
laughing at others,
No,
now it is not a laughing
don't
matter.
try to mislead.
Can I
Ratan,
speak now?
Don't try to mislead. I am talking
Rahul, I have not
to
speak for a
Rahul.
long
I
time.
am
Let him
talking
finish.
personally
Let
to
Ratan
Rahul.
Ratan
Why that
Sharda-
he is laughing.
let
That if
Mr.
you want to
Sharda
talk
is
on
waited
that, please,
patiently.
This is not a point. This is not a point of
Right,
laughing.
right.
I have to
Okay.
leave the debate.
Okay.
डर गया.
Relax, sir, relax.
डर गया.
Let 1 second. Ratan Sharda.
I am also Dr. Tashar, don't worry, it's fine.
Rahul.
Okay, now
Mr.
coming to the main point.
Yeah.
I am highly pained. I have no words to say how pained I am today. I have suffered many kind of ridiculous situations on the social media, on TV. But today's burning of Ramcharitmanas has taken the worst kind of hit that I have ever taken. But they don't even know that Ramayana has been the inspiration for billions of people around the world. People who migrated carried only Ramcharitmanas and they were able to nurture their dharma. They could save themselves from any conversion, any kind of oppression and became leaders in their own societies. Ram is a symbol of Maryada Purushottam, leader of the society. They forget that Rama got what we did to call scheduled tribes, to put them together to attack the evil Ravana, who was a Brahmin. Incidentally, not only that, who was Valmiki wrote Ramayana? He was a Shudra who became a Brahmin Rishi. We talk of, they joke about Hindu Dharma. Vedas were written 6,000 years back when Rishikas wrote Richas in Vedas, and when no religion was born, when Bible said that total age of earth is 6,000 years. Those people to question our religion. Problem, Rahul, is that we try to superimpose today's Western ideas on a dharma, on a view of life which was born nearly 10,000 years back, and compare it to today's ethical standards. But we will not compare with today's ethical standards either Bible or Quran or any other Abrahamic religion, because that endangers their life. And what does it say? No rights for women, half lives for women. When our queens were fighting the British and colonizers, British were discussing whether women have a soul. It is a soul, whether half the soul. We today laud Prophet Muhammad for giving some rights to women where were none available, but are they valid today? No, but they must be valid today also. But at the same time, when we had Shankaracharya debating Mandal Mishra, who was the referee, his wife Bharati. That is the standard we held for women. That is the standard we held for rishis. Veda Vyas was a Shudra. He became a rishi. So they know nothing about our religion. Then I will leave that part to the scholar, Mr. Dushyant. But what do we know? We just know how to create hate. And he said 2014. So after 2014, you can defame anybody. You can say insult Hindus. My last point, Hindus need to stop this good boy image. They have to confront these goons on the road and not allow them to stand for any election, any political party, whichever party they might be. And they must face the people and either apologize or they will not be allowed to enter the social discord. They need total boycott by Hindu society. No more dissent, no more decency to these people, because
as long as we don't endorse any violent actions, everything else is fine. Don't vote for them, boycott them, do whatever you want to, but no violence. And Dr. Ratan Sharda is certainly not endorsing that.
Soul regularly.
Yes, well,
they do violence
there is a law. There is a law.
Remain tolerant.
Yes, Ratan Sharda ji, there is a law, and the law must be kicked in. Now, let me tell you, viewers, Danish Qureshi, what he's not going to tell you, the ACP, J.M. Yadav, what he has said about Danish Qureshi when he was arrested on May 18, 2022. This is the police statement. He said, the action was taken after it came to the notice of the cyber team that derogatory language was used against Hindu gods and goddesses from a Twitter handle belonging to Qureshi. We carried out a technical analysis of the Twitter handle and arrested Qureshi. So this man today, viewers, Janus-faced, who uses the word but all the time to qualify everything, even that which should not be defended.
What about a Muslim who according Manas did have a view on that?
Has, according to the police, one second, tweeted from his handle what Dr. Ranganathan was showing you. Abuse, viewers, derogatory language against Hindu gods and goddesses.
Such awful language.
This is a gentleman who is sitting
he's
here
alive on the TV
and holding forth. Now, Dushyant Sridhar, let me bring in Dushyant Sridhar. Does the Ramcharitmanas deserve to be burnt as the Samajwadi Party's workers and Maurya's workers have done, and Maurya himself seems in no hurry to condemn? Sir, and when it is, what goes through the mind of a Hindu such as you? Mr. Sridhar, please tell me.
Namaskaram Rahul, and namaskaram to my fellow panelists. I heard all of them very, very patiently. You can add as many veries as possible. With respect to the last few months or years, we have been talking about decolonizing our thoughts. We need to get out of the colonial period. I think we need to go 600 years before that and de-Islamize our thoughts as well. I'm not meaning in a derogatory manner. I'm not talking about the religion, because we were ruled by many, many kings who were adhering to that religion, because it was during that period when most of the libraries were burnt, Rahul. So it was a thought from the Western world that when bundles of manuscripts and scriptures are burnt in India, that scripture will vanish in thin air. No. Because Vishnu Sahasranamam or Ramayanam or Mahabharatam, I don't need any of these books because I know most of these verses by heart. So I can give them a few of my copies and they can burn, because Ramayanam or Ramacharitamanus stays here, stays in my mind. So I'm not bothered about burning of the books. So this burning of the books itself is a very foreign thought. They think, see, that system is still continuing. I'll keep that aside for a minute. With respect to this particular verse of Ramcharitmanas, I feel nobody has understood what that context is. It is a biography of a person called Rama, where there are a plethora of characters. When Rama wishes to construct a setu, a bridge, setu pata sima simantita samudra, says Vedanta Deshika, connecting Bharata Desha to Sri Lanka, he has to seek the Green Tribunal's clearance. So he asks the Ministry of Waterways, I'm giving you the modern parlance, Samudra Raja, to give him permission. After 3-4 days, this person doesn't arrive, which itself proves that this person was corrupt. Samudra Raja was corrupt. Else, when Rama is surrendering following the 3 days of Prayopavesham, why should he not return? Then he comes and says, Rama, I've done a grave mistake by not answering your call. That is when this particular verse comes. This is not a verse of Tulsidas. This is not the verse what the protagonist Rama states. It is a verse of a character. Samudra Raja states, Dhol Gavar Sudra Pashunari Sakal Tadana Ke Adhikari. Everybody deserves instructions, very, very clear, assertive instructions, and he lists the category. So he says, Dhol, he talks about the Achetana Vastu, those which don't have knowledge. Then Gavar, those who are bereft of education. Then he brings the word Sudra. Immediately there is a huge flare up here. Because Shastram says, Janma Jayate Shudraha, until you have decided your profession of being a Vedic Pandit or a person who protects the country, all of us are Shudras. Janma Jayate Shudraha. Then he says, Pashu Nari, Pashu, all the animals, Nari, all the women. So the men come in the word Shudra, the women come in the word Pashu, Nari. So it is similar to the verse Sura Nara Khaga Go Bhogi Gandharva Daityehi, which comes in Vishnu Sahasranamam. Third point, Rahul. Whenever we have religious works in India, I'm talking about the Indian civilization, be it Ramayanam of Valmiki, Mahabharata of Vyasa, we have bequeathed poetry. And in poetry, you have every right to use similes and metaphors. For example, you show me an object which is white. I tell this object is as white as a crane. I'm using a simile. Tomorrow morning when I'm making my cup of tea or coffee, I cannot end up using the crane. I'm just using one aspect of that particular object for comparison. So people should understand reading, because we have people who speak like this would have never have touched Ramcharitmanas. Ask them to give an essence. I can bring this challenge to you on your debate, Rahul. Bring the person who is talking about Ramcharitmanas and me on the debate. Let him explain every verse of the Yuddha Kandam, every verse of the Balakandam, and then criticize Tulsidas. So my final conclusion word is, this thought of burning books is a very, very Western thought. They are still laid in their old rules. Hinduism doesn't believe in any of these manuscripts. It believes that all these manuscripts are in the brain. So let them burn as many copies as possible. The religion and the civilization will survive for another. You spoke about five, I think Anand spoke about 5 millennia or more. So it will survive for 5 more millenniums. So there's no worry about. Let them burn as many as possible.
Well, what a shocker, viewers. What a shocker. What a shocker. What violence is being unleashed against Hindu symbols. And people like Samir Singh will laugh it off, viewers. Their party will justify it. How shocking. How absolutely anti-Hindu a mindset is being displayed. A great tradition where dialogue is preferred over violence. Viewers, these people, for a few votes, have even sold their dharma. Can you believe it, viewers? How shocking it is. How shocking. I let you mull over everything that has been said, viewers. This has been an intense debate, and I want to move on to another unpleasant subject. Radicalized Islamic supremacist Ahmed Murtaza has been sentenced to death in connection with a machete attack outside the Gorakhnath temple in April 2022. In April last year, viewers, Murtaza was seen outside the Gorakhnath temple waving a machete, shouting frantically, trying to enter the premises. Apparently, viewers, Yogi Adityanath was somebody who he wanted to target. As you know, viewers, that this particular mutt is the temporal seat of the yogi, who is also the chief minister of Uttar Pradesh. In his frenzy, viewers, in his bigoted, hate-crazed frenzy, Murtaza ended up injuring 2 policemen posted outside. Viewers, at that time, several political parties came out and said, "Arey, he's an IITian. He's a bit unhinged. He's mentally challenged. Spare him. He's not the person you think he is." Viewers, the court today has viewed all the evidence, traced him to a cross-border ISIS-led conspiracy, viewers, and convicted him, awarded him the death penalty for waging war against India. He was booked under the UAPA. Why? Because he revealed links to the ISIS. He took oath of fighting for the ISIS, was funding IS supporters here in this country. He wanted to turn India into a caliphate, viewers. And so much time, like in the case of Burhan Wani and others whose parents were built up as professors, intellectuals, this young man was also built up as a genius, an IIT genius who could not have done all of this, viewers, knowingly. The conviction took place in record time and has come as a reality check for those repeatedly crying persecution when the terror accused belongs to one community while openly baying every opportunity to link Hindus to terror. Even today, there are attempts to whitewash his crimes. Listen in to one such apologist for this individual. Listen in now, viewers, to Majid Haidari.
Well, the pronouncement of death sentence to Murtaza Abbasi Sahab definitely needs to be challenged in the higher court, because the case all the way looks fishy and shady at the face of it, I would say, because in 2019 in Bulandshahr, Inspector Shubhodh Singh was shot dead by writers from Saffron gang who were resorting to violence, but none of them were ever pronounced death penalty, and the case was in fact never handed over to the NIA. So why is it happening that only cases of one particular community get handed over to the NIA? It needs to be questioned and challenged.
अभी तक जो खबरें आती थी कि मुर्तज़ा दिमागी तौर पर ठीक नहीं है, उसके बाप ने कुछ अलहदा बयान दिया था, उसे बाद में आतंकवादी घोषित किया गया, लेकिन उसका जितना बड़ा गुनाह है, सज़ा ऐसा लगता है कि शायद उससे ज़्यादा बड़ी है, लेकिन इसके बावजूद अदालत का जो भी फैसला है उसका हम सम्मान करते हैं.
Because this narrative will be created to try and suggest that the courts have overreacted, overreached in some ways, not judged this case fairly, etc. This is now quite routine. Let me tell you, viewers, when Praveen Nataru died, when he was brutally murdered in public to create terror, similar things were said about those who killed him. Said, oh, this was just a personal battle between these people, of falling out over not such significant issues. Well, it turned out, viewers, that the PFI wanted to establish an Islamic rule by 2027, and killer squads therefore were formed to kill Hindus, give arms trainings to lone wolves to carry out hate attacks. And Praveen Nataru was one of those who was marked out. Then there was the Bengaluru auto blast, viewers. Here, accused Sharik planned to establish an Islamic caliphate intended to carry out IS-style activities in Karnataka. This was according to the police dossier. Originally, viewers, this case was also dismissed as not an act of terror, as something much beyond. Even the Coimbatore cylinder blast, viewers, accused Jamisha Mubin, ISI sympathizer, jihadi literature recovered from his house. He said, destroy anyone who touches Allah's house. He said jihad was his duty. Even this particular case, viewers, was some level or the other obfuscated by an ecosystem. The same ecosystem that has no problems in linking the Hindu faith to terror, has just all problems about conceding, viewers, that these other individuals were acting out in the name of an Islamist supremacy. Unfortunately, viewers, it's never going to be accepted. Let's open this up. Let me ask some basic questions. I want to first begin with Danish Qureshi. Danish Qureshi Saab, thank you for your patience. I want to ask you, sir, tonight. It's easy to link one faith with terror. Sadhvi Pragya, Hindu terrorist. Would you tonight continue to deny the existence of supremacists on the other side of the fence?
Rahul, today the judgment on Murtuza has came and read by NIA court. But till now I didn't read the judgment, I didn't got that. But even then I think that there is a chance for him to go for appeal. What happened in Gorakhnath and conviction has come, that should be welcome, because the court has done the justice with on the ground of evidence. I'll say that only.
I'm glad. You almost went out to say that, look, he has grounds to appeal this, that. Of course, everyone has grounds to appeal. But viewers, no one will ever accept.
Yes, almost he has.
No one will ever accept the undertones of why Murtaza did what he did. Dr. Ranganathan, am I right or am I wrong? Is there a problem here?
Rahul, the problem has been long identified. The issue is that our eyes are wide shut, as the euphemism goes. Because let's be very honest about it, you really can't stop this. We have to accept it unless we do something about it. And we're not. This man who's been sentenced to death was an IIT graduate. His father's a legal eagle. His uncle's a neurosurgeon. His grandfather's a judge. What are we talking about? These aren't some uneducated people who brought, to this country to perpetrate terror. I'm sorry. They are well-read, highly educated people who want to wreck this country from within. Right. And that's a fact. In 2019, let me give you one statistics. Just 20 seconds. In 2019, the reputed German newspaper Welt came up with an incredible statistics. In its report, 18 years of terror. Islamist extremists had perpetrated 31,221 terror attacks and killed 146,811 people worldwide since 9/11. That's an average of 5 terror attacks every single day for 18 years. Rahul, this is a never-ending process.
Never-ending process. So, let me bring in senior editor of the Swarajya magazine, Tushar Gupta. Tushar Gupta, yet the Hindus will be accused for radicalizing this chap. They will say a large number of people from in fact they've already said so, that these poor youth are being driven to do what they are doing because there is now hate that is poured out of Hindu supremacists from 2014. How do you see this, Tushar Gupta?
Good evening, Rahul. You know, somewhere between the son of a poor and a misguided headmaster, we've come to this point where every terrorist is given this benefit of doubt, where they're cited victims of the Hindu supremacist government. Look at what the Congress leader was saying, that the punishment awarded to this terrorist is more than what he deserves. This man carries out a lone wolf terror attack. He carries out at a temple of which the UPCM is the head. He carries out a day before the UPCM is to arrive. He has links with the ISIS. What else does the lobby want us to do with him? Feed him biryani or a 7-star buffet? What I don't understand is, why is this benefit of doubt given to all the terrorists who have been questioned, who have been convicted by the courts? Why this soft spot for terrorists? Well, you have to set an example. If you do not, if you let him walk away today, or if you let him have the benefit of, anti-minority government and other rhetoric, tomorrow 10 other people will commit similar lone wolf terror attacks. And then you will question, what was the government doing? What was the intelligence agency doing? What was the state police doing?
Always a rationale. Viewers, just think about this. Can you name me one Kashmiri Hindu who turned into a terrorist after they were the victims of one of the most
and this is the issue. All those urban Naxals, Rahul, who justify the crimes of the Maoists and call them Gandhis with guns. Cat gets their tongue. When you say, shouldn't Kashmiri Hindus also be given guns?
Yes. Anyhow, viewers, here we are. Hypocrisy after hypocrisy being exposed on the back of stories. Viewers, unfortunately, I tend to agree with Dr. Ranganathan. This is not going to end unless we all stand together, all of us, and call it all out. Whether it's from the Hindu side or the Muslim side, all this rubbish needs to be unequivocally exposed. I leave it at this, viewers.
सो गाइस, आज हम हैं यहाँ पे विद द गैलेक्सी A14 5G एंड ये सैमसंग का नया बजट स्मार्टफोन है. लेट्स सी, इसको अनबॉक्स करते हैं. जैसे कि देख सकते हैं, इस डब्बे में एक फ़ोन है और नथिंग नीचे ऊपर. सिम इजेक्टर टूल एंड अंदर इसके आई थिंक चार्जिंग केबल होना चाहिए. यप.
हेलो एवरीवन, स्वागत है सभी का टाइम्स ड्राइव में. मैं हूं अंकुर तनेजा. बगल में मेरी खड़ी है लेक्सस की RX, जो यहां ऑटो एक्सपो 2023 में यहां पर अनवील करी गई है. दो वर्जन है, 350H और 500H. 500H यहां पर खड़ा हुआ आप देख सकते हैं हमारे सामने है. एंड द कार लुक्स एब्सोल्युटली स्टनिंग, स्पेशली इन दिस कलर. एंड यहां पर देखेंगे ये F स्पोर्ट की वैल्यू लगी हुई है. तो 500H में जो है वो F स्पोर्ट वाला वर्जन आता है, 350H में F स्पोर्ट नहीं आता है. डिजाइन की बात करें तो गाड़ी रोटेट हो रही है, थोड़ा जैसे गाड़ी रोटेट हो रही है वैसे मैं डिजाइन की बात कर लेता हूं. सो ओवरऑल देखिए, इन टर्म्स ऑफ डायमेंशन, प्रॉपर SUV वाला फील इसके साइज से आपको देखने को मिलेगा. एंड यहाँ पे क्लैडिंग थ्रू आउट दी गई है, पियानो ब्लैक में इसकी क्लैडिंग दी गई है. सो प्रीमियमनेस यहाँ पर झलक कर जरूर सामने आ रही है. एंड ओवरऑल टायर्स का जो अलॉय व्हील्स हैं वो भी सिंगल टोन में ब्लैक में यहाँ देखने को इधर मिल रहे हैं. फिर आऊँ पीछे की तरफ तो यहाँ पर थोड़ा वो कूपे वाला फील आता हुआ आपको देखने को मिलेगा. एंड पीछे की तरफ कनेक्टेड टेल लाइट यहाँ दी गई है. लेक्सस की ब्रांडिंग, RX 500H की ब्रांडिंग यहाँ डायरेक्ट फोर दिया गया है. एंड ये ऑफ रोडिंग कैपेबिलिटी साथ लेक्सस कह रही है, ये गाड़ी को प्रोवाइड कर रही है. एंड नीचे भी ओवरऑल जो बॉडी कलर है उसी को मैच करते हुए इसका बम्पर भी यहाँ पर देखने को मिल रहा है. सो डोर जो है उसमें एक छोटा स्विच दिया गया है, जिसको हल्का सा आप टच करेंगे तो वो ऑटोमेटिकली डोर्स सेंस कर लेंगे और वो खुल जाएंगे. फुल करने की जरूरत नहीं है. अंदर मैं यहाँ पे बात करूँ तो यहाँ पे जो मामला है शाही, साथ ही साथ स्पोर्टी झलक कर पूरा आ रहा है. ये बड़ा सा स्क्रीन यहाँ पे दिया गया है सेंटर में. गाड़ी फिलहाल अभी ऑन नहीं है, बट साइज देख के आप समझ जाएंगे मामला काफी शाही और काफी टेक फ्रेंडली यहाँ पर होने वाला है. पावर बटन यहाँ पे दिया गया है. इंस्ट्रूमेंट क्लस्टर है वो भी फुल डिजिटल देखने को मिलता है. लेफ्ट साइड में जो है सिस्टम को कंट्रोल करने के बटन, राइट साइड में क्रूज कंट्रोल, लेन असिस्ट वाला सब फीचर्स यहाँ पर इसमें देखने को मिल रहे हैं. स्पेस की बात करूँ, USB-C चार्जिंग पोर्ट, यहाँ पे वायरलेस चार्जिंग पैड दिया गया है एंड कुछ सामान रखने की और जगह यहाँ पर देखने को मिल रही है। कप होल्डर्स हैं, यहाँ पर 2 कप होल्डर्स दिए गए हैं एंड ओवरऑल जो इंटीरियर है, सेंटर कंसोल और सीट की बात करूँ तो लेदर स्टिच यहाँ पे देखने को मिल रहा है। यहाँ पे थोड़ा वेलवेट टच भी इसकी सीट में दिया गया है, तो कमी किसी तरह से भी गाड़ी को प्रीमियम बनाने में लेक्सस ने इस RX में नहीं करी है। इसके अलावा स्टीयरिंग फ्लैट बॉटम है, स्पोर्ट की बैजिंग भी यहाँ देखने को मिल रही है एंड डोर्स में भी सॉफ्ट टच मटेरियल का इस्तेमाल करा गया है, यहाँ पे देखेंगे एंड लेदर स्टिच यहाँ पे सेम वुड टोन में, रेड टोन में यहाँ पे देखने को मिल रहा है। यहाँ पे भी इसमें HUD डिस्प्ले दिया गया है एंड डैशबोर्ड का ओवरऑल फील जो है वो भी सॉफ्ट टच वाला ही देखने को मिल रहा है इस लेक्सस की फ्रंट।
Top stories on the show tonight, viewers.
After a shocking video showing DMK Neta Palanimanikam abusing and manhandling a Dalit boy for entering a temple goes viral, the DMK takes action, suspends the abusive leader. Governor versus BRS Rao explodes in Telangana. Tamilisai speaks exclusively to Times Now, attacks KCR for skipping Republic Day event. Says he undermined event despite court directions, alleges government has not been following protocols for the last 2 years. Karnataka Congress MLA Rizwan Arshad has filed a complaint with the Election Commission of India, saying that the BJP government is removing minorities from voter lists.
iQOO 11 हो गया इंडिया में लॉन्च एंड विदाउट वेस्टिंग एनीबॉडीज टाइम इट्स टाइम टू अनबॉक्स दिस डिवाइस. But before I do that, allow me to introduce myself. Hi, you're watching Gadget Times. This is me, Pavni Jain, और अब करेंगे इस बॉक्स को अनबॉक्स. And now it's time to unbox this heavy retail box. इससे आपको पता चलेगा कि iQOO 11 के retail box में what all contents do you get inside. Let's begin. सबसे पहले आपको दिखाई देगा स्मार्टफोन, जिसके लिए हम सबसे ज़्यादा एक्साइटेड हैं एंड दिस इज़ द फर्स्ट थिंग दैट ऑफ कोर्स यू एक्सपेक्ट इनसाइड द रिटेल बॉक्स. इसको निकालते हैं रैपर से जल्दी से. काफ़ी ही बढ़िया कलर ऑप्शन, एकदम एग्जैक्ट प्योर वाइट. इस कलर ऑप्शन का नाम है लेजेंड, जो कंपनी ने दिया है. पंच होल कैमरा यहाँ पे दिखाई दे रहा है ऑन द डिस्प्ले. पर बात तो करेंगे रेयर पैनल की. यहाँ पर आपको दिखाई देगा ये रेसिंग स्ट्राइप. फॉर दिस पर्टिकुलर डिवाइस iQOO हैज पार्टनर्ड विद BMW M Sport. तो यहाँ पे आपको वो रेसिंग स्ट्राइप्स दिख रहे हैं. काफी वाइब्रेंट कलर्स हैं, रेड, ब्लैक एंड ब्लू, जहाँ पर iQOO की ब्रांडिंग भी है. कैमरा मॉड्यूल इज रियली वेरी बिग, रेक्टेंगुलर है, जिसमें 3 कैमरास आपको दिखाई दे रहे हैं. यहाँ पर V2 की भी ब्रांडिंग है, क्योंकि कंपनी ने इस स्मार्टफोन में दिया है V2 ग्राफिक चिप. इसी के साथ कैमरास की बात करें तो जो इसका मेन कैमरा है दैट इज अ 50 मेगापिक्सल. एंड इफ यू गाइस कैन लुक एट द कैमरा मॉड्यूल, बहुत ही खूबसूरत सा लग रहा है और इसकी फील तो बहुत ही बढ़िया है. वाइट है और थोड़ा टेक्सचर्ड है, देखने में काफी सुंदर. और मैंने काफ़ी स्मजेस भी डाल दिए हैं ऑन द डिस्प्ले. इसको स्टार्ट करते हैं, साइड में रखते हैं और फिर देखेंगे बाकी के कंटेंट्स. बॉक्स के अंदर आपको ये सब दिखेगा. सिम इजेक्टर टूल, इसके अलावा ट्रांसपेरेंट प्रोटेक्टिव केस जो आपके फ़ोन को ऑफ कोर्स प्रोटेक्ट करेगा. यू गाइस शुड यूज इट, आई ऑलवेज यूज इट. वारंटी कार्ड, क्विक स्टार्ट गाइड, ये सब भी मिलता है. और अच्छी बात ये है कि iQOO, एटलीस्ट iQOO इज वन ब्रांड जिसने अभी तक अडेप्टर्स और USB केबल्स पे गिव अप नहीं किया है. सो ऑफ कोर्स यू गेट वन रियली हैवी पावर अडेप्टर. ये है 120 वॉट फास्ट चार्जर. इसको साइड में रखते हैं. इसी के साथ आपको दिखाई देगा USB-C केबल. ओ माय गुडनेस, यहाँ पे एक और चीज भी आपको मिलती है, which is a 3.5 mm to Type C cable. ये OnePlus ने देना शुरू किया था और अभी आपको iQOO के साथ भी मिलेगी. Basically, this means that users will be able to easily use their wired headphones with this smartphone. I really like this. तो ये सब चीजें आपको बॉक्स में मिलती हैं. अब बात करेंगे इस स्मार्टफोन की. आइए शुरू करते हैं. सो वी हैव ऑलरेडी अनबॉक्स द डिवाइस। इतना खूबसूरत ये दिखाई दे रहा है। इसके टेक स्पेक्स की भी जल्दी से बात कर लेते हैं। पीछे आपको जो ये कैमरा मॉड्यूल दिख रहे हैं, इसमें आपको मिलेंगे 3 कैमराज। मेन कैमरा इज अ 50 मेगापिक्सल अलॉन्ग विद OIS, सो यू डू गेट ऑप्टिकल इमेज स्टेबलाइजेशन। राइट साइड पे फ्रेम देखेंगे तो
Gentlemen, Congress's flagship event Bharat Jodo Yatra, which started from Kanyakumari in September last year, culminated today 3,570 kilometers apart in Srinagar. Congress termed it a much needed shot in the arm, praying that it will boost its prospects in the upcoming 2024 Mahayuddh. But the man who led the charge from the front didn't leave any chance to take pot shots at the center, despite saying that this was not a political yatra. Questioning the government's claim over normalcy in Jammu and Kashmir, Rahul Gandhi pointed out that targeted killings and bomb blasts have become a regular occurrence in the region. Boasting his family taught him to live fearlessly, Rahul Gandhi dared Home Minister Amit Shah to walk from Jammu to Lal Chowk if the region is so secure. Listen in to this dare by Rahul Gandhi.
जैसे मोदी जी हैं, अमित शाह जी हैं, RSS के लोग हैं, उन्होंने हिंसा नहीं देखी। डरते हैं नहीं, डरते हैं, देखिए डरते हैं। यहाँ पे हम 4 दिन पैदल चले, मैं आपको गारंटी देके कह सकता हूँ कि बीजेपी का कोई नेता ऐसे नहीं चल सकता। और इसलिए नहीं क्योंकि जम्मू कश्मीर के लोग, इसलिए नहीं क्योंकि जम्मू कश्मीर के लोग उनको चलने नहीं देंगे, इसलिए क्योंकि वो डरते हैं।
The BJP was quick to demolish Rahul Gandhi's argument. The centre reminded him of unprecedented Azadi and Tiranga Kranti under the government, and now how UPA tried to restrict the Tiranga Yatras of the BJP from fluttering over the valley in its own era. Listen in to the countercharge.
1992 में भारतीय जनता पार्टी के अध्यक्ष डॉक्टर मुरली मनोहर जोशी जी ने और उस समय नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने बम धमाकों के बीच में और बंदूकों के साए के बीच में तिरंगा झंडा लाल चौक पर फहराने का काम किया था। 2011 में युवा मोर्चा के अध्यक्ष के नाते हम युवा मोर्चा के मैंने अपने साथियों के साथ कलकत्ता से कश्मीर की यात्रा लाल चौक पर तिरंगा झंडा फहराने के लिए की, तो मारा गया, हमारे कार्यकर्ताओं को जेल में बंद कर दिया गया। 2014 के बाद हालात कैसे बदले हैं, कश्मीर में शांति अमन आई है और राहुल गांधी जी प्रधानमंत्री जी का धन्यवाद भी करना भूल गए जिन्होंने अनुच्छेद 370-35 को सदा सदा के लिए समाप्त किया।
आज यदि आप झंडा फहराने में सफल हो रहे हैं तो वो तब जब हमारे संस्थापक अध्यक्ष ने इसके लिए अपने प्राण बलिदान किए। हमने उस कश्मीर के लिए जान की बाजी लगाकर हमारे नेताओं ने वहां जाकर झंडा फहराया, तो आज वो हालात बने हैं कि वहां पर जाकर 26 जनवरी 15 अगस्त को डल लेक पे तिरंगे की पूरी लाइन दिखती है, कतार दिखती है।
He is walking only because of Prime Minister Modi and Amit Shah ji. Otherwise, he should remember in 1992 when it was his government in the center and the state, when Prime Minister Modi with Murli Manohar Joshi ji went to hoist the national flag, it was among the gunfire.
But the Congress's strategy to assert itself as the fulcrum of an anti-BJP bloc didn't go as per plans. As many as 8 key players of the opposition decided to give the finale a miss. Heavyweights like Mamata Banerjee, Akhilesh Yadav, Nitish Kumar, Uddhav Thackeray and Chandrababu Naidu, including KCR, decided to keep a distance rather than attend the event amidst heavy snowfall. But Rahul Gandhi had the full endorsement of the Gupkar alliance. Listen in.
राहुल जी ने कहा मैं कश्मीर अपने घर आया हूँ। राहुल जी ये आपका घर है और मुझे उम्मीद है कि जो गोडसे की आइडियोलॉजी ने जम्मू कश्मीर से इस मुल्क से छीना है गांधी जी हमें वापस करेंगे और जम्मू कश्मीर ही नहीं बल्कि पूरे मुल्क का गांधी जी ने भी कहा था कि मुझे जम्मू कश्मीर से रोशनी की किरण नजर आई और आज पूरे मुल्क को राहुल गांधी से रोशनी की किरण नजर आ रही है.
But why does the opposition not favor an anti-BJP front led by Rahul Gandhi? Many feel that Rahul Gandhi has not been able to challenge Prime Minister Modi effectively. Secondly, it has not been able to stem the rot within the party and the exodus that is the bane of the Congress party today. They also feel that Rahul Gandhi cannot lead an opposition alliance simply because his interpersonal relations and availability remain a question. And over and above this, the fact that he lost his own seat in 2019 in Amethi doesn't exude any confidence in the opposition. Not just that, the opposition seems to have learnt a lesson from the Hindu bashing that the Congress has often resorted to, and it's not a trap they want to fall into. So clearly they are keeping their distance, and that, ladies and gentlemen, brings me to the legitimate question we are asking on the Newshour tonight. No opposition Vishwas in Raga? That's the question, and that's the debate coming up on the other side.
You're watching the Newshour at 9, debate number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
And joining me on the debate tonight, Jaiveer Shergill, national spokesperson of the BJP, Abhijit Iyer Mitra, political analyst, Sushil Pandit, activist, Jammu and Kashmir. Also joining me tonight, Ravula Sridhar Reddy, leader of the TRS, Professor Monojit Mandal, spokesperson of the TMC. But my first question goes to Congress leader Lokesh Jindal. Lokesh Jindal ji, the fact is the BJP has said that during the UPA era, there was no Tiranga Yatra possible in Jammu and Kashmir. Today, after Article 370 has been abrogated, the law and order and security in the state is so much better that Rahul Gandhi could actually unfurl the Tiranga in Lal Chowk. How do you take this, smart counter move by the BJP on the allegations that have been made by Rahul Gandhi earlier today?
I think BJP needs to go for a fact check. We have seen the highest number of killings of Kashmiri Pandits during this time period. And when they claim that law and order situation is improving in Jammu and Kashmir, they are grossly mistaken. It was for the guts as well as the vision of Rahul Gandhi that he traveled from Kanyakumari to Kashmir, strengthening the unity and integrity of the country. All the Kashmiri political parties, devoid of their political leanings, they all came forward for national solidarity for one united Bharat. So that must be accepted. I think BJP needs to have, it can do much better rather than simply finding out reasons to criticize and condemn Bharat Jodo Yatra. All its criticism have failed, and Bharat Jodo Yatra has been successful in achieving its desired objective.
You call it successful, but opposition to juda hi nahi Bharat Jodo Yatra mein. If you can't jodo the opposition, how will you jodo Bharat?
भारत जोड़ो भारत को जोड़ने के लिए था, ऑपोजिशन को जोड़ने के लिए नहीं, और भारत जुड़ा है. In fact, right from Kanyakumari till Kashmir, everywhere, wherever Rahul Gandhi ji went, lakhs of people came together, irrespective of region, religion, all of them came together. They marched shoulder to shoulder with everyone. Everybody wanted a united Bharat, the very Bharat that Congress had built post-independence. Rather, I would say that the legacy of Mahatma Indira Gandhi was carried forward by Rahul Gandhi. We want one united Bharat, not a divided Bharat based upon religion, caste and all other forms of inequalities. So let us come together for a united Bharat, and that message was subtly given, and it was accepted and participated by the masses as well.
Well, then let me ask Professor Monojit Mondal. Monojit Mondal, अगर भारत जुड़ा हुआ है तो फिर भारत जोड़ो यात्रा, why was it required? And if opposition is not part of Bharat, which is why Mr. Lokesh Jindal feels that opposition को जोड़ने की जरूरत नहीं है, do you think the very objective of Bharat जोड़ो यात्रा is somewhat confused according to the Congress?
You see, it's the program of a political party. They have got every right to have their own idea about how to unite India, and we have got really no comment to make on that particular issue. One thing is very sure, All India Trinamool Congress was not invited for this particular program, so there is no question of attending the program at all, which I think needs to be clear, because in some parts of the media this rumor is spread that we did not attend the program. We were not invited, I repeat, we were not invited for this particular event today. That's point number one. If we should think about the United India, yes, that is the plank of TMC as well. We need to fight this particular force, which is called BJP or Bharat Jalao Party. They are destroying the fabric of this country. They're destroying the very basis of India, the idea of India for the last 10-15 years. Forget about the economy, how it is in doldrum, price rise, and so on and so forth. And even today, they're disrespecting every other icons of this country. What they are doing with Amartya Sen today, look at the BJP leaders in Bengal. Every other day, they're disregarding. One is saying that he did not even get the Nobel Prize. That's the kind of history that BJP people are making. We will fight the BJP against this kind of autocratic, exclusionary politics that they have been playing for the last 8-9 years. Plus, the kind of quote-unquote fraud, mammoth fraud that they have been committing on the people of India, starting from that 15 lakh rupees to 200 rupees, sarson ka tel and 100 plus rupees petrol. This is the mammoth fraud that Trinamool Congress is going to fight against the BDP. And I tell you, we are growing leaps and bounds in the northeastern parts of the country. Meghalaya, Tripura, we have already declared 120 candidates for the upcoming assembly poll. We are the first party. This is not getting much coverage in the national media. Right. We are the first party to declare 120 candidates in both the states where BJP or their alliance are ruling.
Well, so let me get in Mr. Jaiveer Shergill. Mr. Jaiveer Shergill, the fact is that Congress has not united the opposition. So they are going to go against Modi. That objective against removing Modi remains constant, but the leaders cannot come together. How do you respond to both Mr. Lokesh Jindal of the Congress and to the Trinamool Congress spokesperson?
No, we are not saying that it is anti-Modi. Please don't misquote me, Navikaji. We did not say this is anti-Modi. We did not say that.
Okay.
It is our idea to save India, the idea of India to unite India. And if you say that Modi is the destroyer of India, you are saying, we are not saying.
But that is exactly what Mr. Rahul Gandhi is saying. But that is exactly what Mr. Rahul Gandhi is saying. So you're not with him, you're not against Modi. Then where are you, sir?
No, for God's sake, I'm not representing Rahul Gandhi. What he says, he will take responsibility of that.
All right, Jaiveer Shergill, आज एक चीज तो क्लियर हो गई है that Trinamool Congress is no longer anti-Modi.
Not against the person.
Navika ji, firstly, I hope I'm not interrupted in the same courtesy extended by the fellow spokesperson as I extended to them. Oh my. I think you first listen to him first.
No,
yes, go on, Mr.
You have got thousands
Can I
of
speak?
No, things.
No, Monojit Mandal, there are so many. So many interruptions are not allowed during a debate. Now allow Mr. J.V. Shergill to make his point.
You can't spin my words. You are spinning my words. Don't spin my words, for God's sake.
I'm repeating exactly what you said, Mr. Monoji. I'm repeating exactly what you said. You're not against Modi. You're not against Modi. You said that you're not anti-Modi. So I just repeated that.
We are
but
against
anyway,
his policies and the kind of idea that BJP as a party propagating. Not against the person, Mr. Narendra Modi.
Boss, the public understands exactly what you're saying.
No.
Now allow Mr. J.V. Shergill to respond.
Yes, public sab janti hai.
Navika ji, two, three quick points. Bharat Jodo Yatra and on opposition unity. Firstly, I think the Indian National Congress should in written express gratitude, their gratefulness and thank you to Bharatiya Janata Party and leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah ji for successfully unfurling Tiranga in Srinagar, which was not possible during the Congress regime. हिंदी की वो कहावत आपको याद है, वो भी एक दौर था और ये भी एक दौर है. In that door, 1953, Shama Prasad Mukherjee died. 1992, Modi ji, along with Murli Manohar Joshi ji, unfurled the Tiranga with in extreme strict vigilance security. 2011, many BJP leaders, including Anurag Thakur, Sushma Swaraj ji, were said, you cannot unfurl और तिरंगा नहीं लहरा सकते लाल चौक पे क्योंकि माहौल खराब हो जाएगा. वो भी एक दौर था when Kashmir during Congress regime, the news used to come, people throwing bombs, grenades. Today the news is coming that the brother and sister are throwing snowball, बर्फ के गोले एक दूसरे पे फेंक रहे हैं. This परिवर्तन from khitpit to picnic, this change from friction to picnic is only possible during the Bharatiya Janata Party regime. So I think the abrogation of Article 370, 35A, the success, the achievement, the Bharat Jodo Yatra is a living proof and a living testimony to that. Point number 2, objective, Bharat Jodo Yatra. Bharat Jodo Yatra is a damn squib. It is a classic case of operation successful, patient dead. Bharat Jodo Yatra, the fulcrum, the alpha and omega is anti-India, anti-peace, anti-forces, pro-China, pro-Pakistan. You started with Kanyakumari to Kashmir. Look at the trajectory of the Yatra. It's only marred with confusion, chaos, divisiveness and destruction. In Kerala, they make a viral picture of half-men burning. Then they meet a pastor, George Puria, who's abused Hindu gods and said Indian land is impure. They come to Tamil Nadu, they meet SP Uday Kumar, who says Tamil Nadu should be separated from India. Then he does Jappis, Mr. Rahul Gandhi, with a Congress young leader called Rijil, who slaughtered a cow just to mock Hindu sentiments. Then they come to Maharashtra, they put Veer Savarkar's poster, but Mr. Rahul Gandhi abuses Veer Savarkar. Then he goes to Rajasthan to say China is beating Indian soldier. Then he comes to Delhi, then he says India is a confused nation without a vision. He crowns Jagdish Titler, who's accused of Sikh genocide. Then they come to Jammu Kashmir. Look at the beauty now. Jammu Kashmir, Mr. Digvijay Singh and the entire Congress brigade is asking the proof of surgical strike. Bharat Jodo Yatra is a facade. On the other hand, they have Mehbooba Mufti, who threatened that if you abrogate 35A, abrogate 370, there will be nobody left in Jammu Kashmir to hold the Tiranga. Then they are hobnobbing with the Abdullahs, who said if you want to be, Pakistan talks are necessary for peace in Jammu and Kashmir. The truth of the matter is Bharat Jodo Yatra has exposed Congress hypocrisy on secularism, nationalism and their stand on forces, and only exposed their pro-Pakistan and China character.
Well, so let me get in Lokesh Jindal again to answer this. Lokesh Jindal, even people with whom you have run governments, Nitish Kumar, you are the smallest partner in that government in Bihar, didn't turn up. DMK, you are a small partner in Tamil Nadu, they didn't turn up to Kashmir. Uddhav Thackeray, you've run a government, MVA, Mahavikas Aghadi in Maharashtra, they didn't turn up. Samajwadi Party, UP के लड़के इकट्ठे थे, उन्होंने तो नुमाइंदा भी नहीं भेजा अपना. What is the success of the Bharat Jodo Yatra? People today are asking this question.
Well, if it would have not been successful, then my friend Mr. Shergill won't be begging for some form of credit to BJP or making it secure enough so that we could unfurl the flag. और रही बात बीजेपी की तारीफ करने की, तो मिर्जा गालिब का शेर याद आता है, हमें पता है जन्नत की हकीकत क्या है, हमें पता है जन्नत की हकीकत क्या है, मगर दिल खुश करने के लिए ख्याल अच्छा है. ये भारत जोड़ो यात्रा जो है सर, यू हैव टू लुक इनटू योर ओन
ख्याल अच्छा है. शेर तो कम से कम सही बोलिए.
शेर एकदम ठीक है. आप ये गालिब के लिए नहीं, ये बीजेपी के लिए था. तो मैं ये बात कहना चाहूंगा, if you look at BJP's track record right from the time period since 2019 when it came up with Citizenship Amendment Act, when it came up with abrogation of Article 370, when it came up with farm laws, when it came up with all forms of social tensions like the halal issue, trying to bring about a communal divide in all over the country, the entire country burned, right from Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Bihar, every bit there were communal riots. People, they were itching for each other's blood at that point of time. What the Prime Minister was doing, simply maintaining a silence. Never did he come out, ask the people to maintain peace. He was hell-bent upon dividing the entire country on communal line. In this background, we had Rahul Gandhi taking the initiative, walking all the way from Kanyakumari to Kashmir on one single agenda: Nafrat Chodo, Bharat Jodo. It is not PR, it is pyar that he wanted to spread all over the country. But this you will never accept, because it is against your ideology and against the very propaganda and agenda that you pitch for. So you have to understand that when a leader for almost 5 months, non-stop, he is walking from Kanyakumari till Kashmir. Never did he bring up any form of an issue that was solely political. When he criticized the Savarkar issue at that point of time, he criticized the Hindutva agenda, which is marginalization of Muslims. Whenever Rahul Gandhi spoke, he spoke as an Indian for the unity of Indians. So Bharat Jodo has to be understood not merely within the political perspective, but also its necessity so as to keep the social, the fabric of Indian society intact. The unity in diversity and diversity in unity, it forms the very basic character of Indian state.
Let me get in both Abhijit Iyer, Mitra, Sushil Pandit and our guest from TRS. Sushil Pandit, to you first. Do you think, of course, it's not, everything is not hunky-dory in Jammu and Kashmir, but is the situation better today than it was, before 2014? Question number one. And question number two, how do you respond to a very catchy line that Mr. Lokesh Jindal gives? Rahul Gandhi's yatra was not PR, it was pyar. Respond.
Thank you, Navika, for having me on this show, and good evening to all my fellow panelists and your viewers. You see, bottom line is, by his own standards, Rahul Gandhi's standards, this was a Herculean task for him to walk all the way up to Kashmir, and he did walk. I'm surprised he could manage it, but he's done it. So kudos to him for concluding this yatra on a high note, unfurling a Tiranga at Lal Chowk, about which his own party spokespersons were saying that this is RSS ka agenda and we are not going to do it, but finally better sense prevailed and he did it. And this was the leitmotif, this was the example of the contradictions that accompanied him from the very first step he took. And all those contradictions and many more, some have been enumerated by Jaiveer already, accompanied him right through every step of this yatra. But the anticlimax was when he entered Kashmir for ostensibly Bharat Jodo, where Bharat gets the stiffest challenge to its integrity. He was flanked by the known separatist sympathizers walking along with him. Abdullahs who taunt us, saying POK tumhare baap ka nahi hai aur Cheen se lenge 370, and Mehbooba Mufti, who would day in and day out bat for Pakistan and say first talk to Pakistan even before you talk to people in Jammu and Kashmir. So people like them who have disparaged Tiranga, who have disparaged our armed forces, who have disparaged India on every given occasion, were flanking on both sides. If this was Bharat Jodo, then I wonder what else do you need in Kashmir to render it weaker? The problem here is that they have difficult partners, some who do not join and others who join them to drag them further down. In the eyes of rest of India, National Conference and PDP, Abdullahs and Muftis are the villains in Kashmir. They are the biggest threat to Bharat Jodo. And if they are the ones accompanying you to Lal Chowk, then good luck to you. This sack of contradictions overflew. This cup was brimming over already, but it spilled over with this huge contradiction to Bharat Jodo accompanying Rahul Gandhi. And one more thing. I wish he had carried on this yatra quietly, in silence, on a Maun Vrat, because all that he did in 2-3 days was rendered waste every time he opened his mouth and said something inane for which he's become infamous. Had he walked this yatra with his mouth shut, probably India would have swooned on this Mauni Baba's long trek and would have, lied down for him to walk over them so that his aching feet got some comfort. But he undid his yatra all by himself every second, third day by speaking out things that were better not said. Thank you.
Well, Sushil Pandit, you deliver a hard one every time you look at something, with a critique in mind. But let me get in Mr. Reddy. Mr. Reddy, the point that Sushil Pandit makes, was Rahul Gandhi's Bharat Jodo Yatra ultimately able to get the country together, or has the contradictions that he carried with himself left more questions unanswered than actually answering them?
See, we are not hurry commenting whether Bharat Jodo Yatra is a success or a failure, whether Rahul Gandhi could Jodo the country or not, and all that stuff, because it's purely a Congress party affair. I don't know whether they have done Bharat Jodo or not. It is a Congress Jodo Yatra, and we know the situation of Congress party in the country today. So going through 12 states and 2 union territories cannot completely Jodo the Bharat. So that's what one should understand. And now the problem actually lies here. Now whichever discussion you see, either it is Congress party or BJP, or Rahul Gandhi is not in a position to unite opposition, who is versus Modi. This is not, we are limiting this country to discuss only about 2 parties. Do we have any other alternate? So this is what actually has to be discussed today. It is not about Congress and BJP anymore. People look beyond these 2 parties, because for a long time, Congress party failed this country, and for the past 8.5 years, Narendra Modi utterly disappointed this country and failed in meeting the aspirations of the youth of this country and every section. So we, as BRS, we wanted to, bring in a new alternate in this country, an alternate which think of development and welfare of the poor, development, welfare of the needy sections. It is not just about, unfurling, we respect the tricolor, we respect the flag, but always emotions doesn't work. Emotions cannot give you development. Emotions alone cannot give you the welfare. These 2 parties are busy keeping these things alive, and rather than not discussing at all development projects or development aspects in this country. So, Honorable CM, KCRG, the President of BRS, we wanted to bring in a strong alternate agenda, which is a development agenda for this country and a welfare agenda to this country. That's what we are actually into, and the country will witness a rising strong alternate force in 2024.
Well, so clearly what you're saying is that Rahul Gandhi cannot join the opposition. Everybody will find their own path. Even your party can desire to become a fulcrum and get all opposition parties together, and that Abhijit Iyer Mitra. So where if the Congress is not able to jodo the Congress, it is not able to jodo the opposition, then where is the Congress actually going with this Bharat Jodo Yatra? And on a scale of 1 to 10, how successful do you think this Bharat Jodo Yatra is in resurrecting the Congress's future as a challenger in 2024?
Ji, Mile Kadam Jude Watan Bharat Jodo Yatra. I just wanted to say I'm quite disappointed by Jaiveer. He's a very dear friend of mine, but his party is the biggest beneficiary of the Bharat Jodo Yatra, so I don't know what he's complaining about. But let's look at, when you attempt a repackaging and resale, of a train wreck, the product must have some credibility. Now, my friend Mr. Jindal just said that, he walked 3,500, 3,700 kilometers. They did not walk 3,500, 3,700 kilometers. They were trucked about 3,500, 3,700 kilometers. Rahul Gandhi kept returning to Delhi and flying back to meet the Yatra wherever it was. You think people don't see that? Number one. Number two, if you want to relaunch, the party is so confused. They don't even know how to message it anymore. What were the big takeaways from the Bharat Jodo Yatra? Number one, the T-shirt. Second, ठंड उन्हीं को जो ठंड से डरते हैं उन्हीं को ठंड लगता है. So basically, he wasn't scared of the cold 1 month back. But then in Srinagar, when it started snowing, he started getting very cold. He started getting very scared of the cold because he was wearing a fairan and a cap and whatnot. Then, the third big takeaway was Rahul को मैंने पीछे छोड़ दिया है. ये हमारी देश की philosophy है. आप please समझो, आपके लिए फायदा है. The fourth was the Pandavas never did demonetization. Now, what out of this was pyar in all of this? Quite the contrary. When immigrant workers are being targeted and killed in Kashmir, he goes to Kashmir and he says, outsiders are taking your jobs. Outsiders are telling you to run your country. You see, I'm half Tamil, half Bengali. Rahul Gandhi is neither Tamil or Bengali. So he shouldn't become Prime Minister because no outsider from Tamil or outside Tamil Nadu or Bengal should tell me how to run my states, no? So what gives him the right to become a Prime Minister? I don't want him to be Prime Minister. Next, the fun thing is what the INC leaders themselves are saying from within. They're all complaining that this is a exorbitant waste of money on a train wreck that is beyond, that now has been totaled and can only be sold for a wreckage, for spare parts and things like that. There is no recuperating the cost, and that too is so close to the 2020.
Come on, you're being very uncharitable. You're being uncharitable, Abhijit Iyer Mitra.
Let me reply. But finally, to address the last point on Mr. Rahul Gandhi's security, he's irrelevant. Who would want to attack him? You tell me that. I would point you to the fact, this is from the Times Group's own newspaper. If you can see this, in 2019, the government downgraded him from SPG to CRPF Z category. Nobody even wants to engage with him. Nobody wants to even go after him anymore.
Just one question.
I think there is only one alphabet separating BJY from BJP. आप इशारा समझ लो.
No, I have one question to ask, sir. Sir, why was BJP so scared that it came up with a COVID issue to disrupt the yatra? Why did the Minister of Health come up with a COVID excuse and was begging, please, Bharat Jodo Yatra, rok do? Why this? We didn't see a COVID blast coming into the country. We saw that particular COVID excuse was a hoax. Please give me your answer on this. Why this form of a haste and this form of a excuse to stop the yatra?
Respond.
Mr. Jindal, did they stop the yatra? They provided.
We didn't stop because it is unstoppable. It was not going to stop at all. But you did try. But you did try.
Are you trying to say, Mr. Jindal, that BJP डर गई थी? Is that what you're trying to say? Abhijit Iyer Mitra, please respond कि BJP डर गई थी. Do you think BJP डर गई थी?
Every time I look at the smile on I would urge all your viewers to look at Jaiveer's face and the big smile on his face.
एक मिनट जवाब तो सुन लीजिए. जवाब तो सुन लीजिए.
I think Mr. Jindal is confusing entertainment with fear. You know, entertainment and fear are two very different reactions. I think all of us are highly entertained by the Bharat Jodo Yatra. It's like, you know, when you go to a horror movie and most of the cases you're laughing when, you know,
So you are not able to laugh anymore.
But I'm laughing all the way, sir.
No, on a serious note, Javeer Shergill, you know, the charge by Mr. Lokesh Jindal is that the BJP was scared. That is why it tried to stop Rahul Gandhi's Bharat Jodo Yatra with the COVID bahana. There were lapses in his security, all because the BJP was scared that he would go and unfurl the Tiranga at Lal Chowk.
Navika ji, 3 or 4 quick points. First, you know, PR and PR, the catchy line as you put it. चाहे भारत जोड़ो हो PR, यहाँ PR. सही बात तो है, अभी राहुल जी नहीं है मोदी जी को हराने के लिए तैयार. सो PR नहीं है मोदी जी को हराने के लिए तैयार. ये जमीनी हकीकत है, ये वास्तविकता है जिसे स्वीकार कर लेना चाहिए और अभी मेहनत की जरूरत है. दूसरा पॉइंट, हैव यू सीन दैट मूवी Navika ji? I'm sure every viewer, including my friend Abhijit, has seen Sholay. There were Asrani played the famous role of a jailer, and there is a very famous scene which got very popular. He says, "आधे कैदी दाहिने जाओ, आधे बाइने जाओ, बाकी मेरे पीछे आओ." And when he looks behind, nobody is behind him. That scene is the depiction of the state of affairs of opposition reposing their faith in the Indian National Congress. Earlier, they issued invitation to 18 floor leaders. Only 2 came, Uddhav ji and Stalin ji. Today, invitation was issued to 23 or 27 leaders, except the main in charges, main leaders, I think except Mehbooba Mufti ji and Farooq or Omar Abdullah, nobody turned up. Because today, the common glue, leadership, common agenda, common ideology, the opposition unity is devoid from all these criteria. You have many viewers on your screen right now and including very experienced spokespersons. Let's take a poll right now. Does out of 543 seats, 210 come from UP, Bengal, Bihar, Maharashtra? In UP, Congress lost deposit in 98% of the seat. Samajwadi Party has called, Congress and BJP are the same. In West Bengal, there are only 39 seats. Mamata Banerjee on 3rd December 2021 has questioned where is UP and now went to the extreme to say Rahul Gandhi is a kid. You go to Bihar, where Congress is a stupny. 1 second. Maharashtra, the idol of Uddhav Thackeray ji Shiv Sena is Mr. Veer Savarkar. Mr. Rahul Gandhi is abused Mr. Veer Savarkar. Though today for opposition, Congress party has become a liability, a touch me not, stay away from me proposition because of their confused stand on secularism, nationalism, religion and even economy.
One final point. Sir, आपने तैयार का कहा था.
So let me get the two opposition. Two opposition. 1 minute, Lokesh Jindal. Pyar, taiyar. You know, the people will decide that. But I want to ask the Trinamool Congress spokesperson Manojit Mandal first. Short question, give a clear answer. Will the Bharat Jodo Yatra actually increase the Congress party's tally in the next elections of 2024? Yes or no answer?
I can't be an astrologer. I'm not. I'm a man of literature, but I do not believe in astrology at all. So it's very difficult to predict. We are very sure that Trinamool Congress is going to play a very important role in the next 2024 election, and not just in Bengal.
That's not my question. Mr. Reddy, is the Congress better placed today after Bharat Jodo Yatra than they were 4 months ago? Yes or no?
Hello?
Yes, Mr. Reddy.
I didn't get you. Can you come back?
Well, do you think Rahul Gandhi and Congress are better situated today than 4 months ago to face the elections of 2024?
We don't have any business, assessing whether Rahul Gandhi image has increased or not increased. and all that. When I see this discussion from the beginning, Mr. Jaiveer Shirgin talks about
when so much experience behind these political parties and they are not impressed, they are not convinced, then what about the rest of India? I leave that judgment to the people of India who are watching this show tonight. 2024, of course, the public will decide. What does the public think? Well, we'll wait for your answers. Thank you very much to all my panelists for joining me on debate number 1. On the other side, ladies and gentlemen, the very essence of Ram as chronicled in the Ramcharitmanas has been set ablaze, hurting the astha of Hindus. This act of what many devout call sacrilege by the OBC Mahasabha has been linked to the Samajwadi Party. This act was after Akhilesh's Neta, some SP Maurya, called the Granth anti-Dalit and discriminatory. 10 people have been booked for promoting enmity and disrupting law and order, including Maurya. Instead of cracking the whip, he was not only feted but also backed and promoted by his party's boss Akhilesh Yadav. He has now been elevated to the post of a National General Secretary of the Samajwadi Party. Remember, SP Maurya also faces a bounty of rupees 21 lakhs announced by the Mahant of Hanumangarhi. Times now confronted the SP's General Secretary and watch how he remains brazenly defiant.
सरकार के दबाव में एफआईआर कितनी भी हो जाए, अगर हम महिलाओं के सम्मान की बात कर रहे हैं, आदिवासियों, दलितों, पिछड़ों को सम्मान दिलाने की बात कर रहे हैं, तो ये बात चलती रहेगी. एक नहीं 1000 एफआईआर हो जाए तो भी सच कहने से पीछे नहीं रहेंगे.
उसमें अरेस्टिंग हो गई पुलिस ने अभी 2 मिनट पहले ही मैसेज दिया है कि 5 लोगों को गिरफ्तार कर लिया गया, जो इसमें 5 आरोपी
मुझे भी गिरफ्तार कर ले. जब मौके में मैं था ही नहीं तो मेरा नाम कैसे आ गया? मैं तो उल्टा पुलिस पर एफआईआर करवा दूंगा. जब जिस घटना से मेरा कोई ताल्लुकात नहीं, जिस घटने में मौके में मेरी परछाई तक नहीं गई, उस एफआईआर में मेरा नाम कैसे आ गया? अब स्वाभाविक रूप से भाजपा सरकार इस देश की महिलाओं, आदिवासियों, दलितों, पिछड़ों के सम्मान की विरोधी है. इसलिए महिलाओं, आदिवासियों, दलितों, पिछड़ों को अपमानित करने वालों के साथ भाजपा खड़ी है.
तो आप इनकी लड़ाई लड़ते रहेंगे?
इसमें भी कोई शक. अभियान चलता रहेगा.
और कार्रवाई होगी तो?
सच की बात करना अपराध नहीं, किसी पुस्तक का विवादित अंश निकालने की मांग करना अपराध नहीं, महिलाओं को सम्मान दिलाने की बात करना अपराध नहीं.
You're watching the News Hour at 9, debate number 2 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Well, he's continuing to be defiant, no action on him, instead he's been promoted, and that's the debate we bring to you, ladies and gentlemen. And joining me on the debate, Sanjay Chaudhary, spokesperson of UP BJP, Rahul Ishwar, activist, joining me, Lokesh Jindal, leader of the Congress, continues to be with us. But my first question goes to Mr. Vivek Silas, spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party. Vivek Silas ji, ab tak to what we saw was Akhilesh Yadav used to accuse the BJP of polarization. What is this formula? And what is this absolute Hindu phobia that the Samajwadi Party is now suffering from? You don't believe in the Ramcharitmanas, it's your call. But how can you hurt the feelings of a majority of this country that believes in Ram and believes in the Ramcharitmanas? I want to ask you, what action will be taken on Swami Prasad Maurya?
Yes, very good evening to you, Navika ji, and panelists and the viewers. Actually, as far as the Samajwadi Party is concerned, what I feel that we all believe in the Sanatan Dharma. It's not that we don't respect it or we don't follow it. But there are some, the few lines that are written in that, like Dhol Gawar Shudra Pashunari Sakal Taran Ke Adhikari. That's where the objection lies, actually. But as far as the Bharatiya Janata Party is concerned, you said just about Swami Prasad Maurya. Let me remind the viewers and to you, Navika ji.
So you'll start setting religious books on fire, sir? No. So you'll start setting religious books on fire, sir? Is that, if you have objection to a few lines that you say, You've realized them in 2023 and you will set fire to the religious scriptures?
No. Not at all. No, we condemn that, ma'am. It's not at all. It was not the Samajwadi Party that did it. Actually, it was the Akhil Bharati
When have you condemned that? When have you condemned that? When has Mr. Akhilesh Yadav condemned that? Have you heard Mr. Akhilesh Yadav condemn that, Rahul Ishwar? He has been made, Swami Prasad Maurya has been made a National General Secretary. Rahul Ishwar, did you see
Navika ji, I am a proud practicing Hindu, but whenever I take Prophet Muhammad's name, I make it a point to add Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. We are a nation, civilization which respects every religion, and Mahatma Gandhi and Vivekananda taught that. With utmost respect, can I ask a question? If the same had happened to Holy Hadith, if the same had happened to any book on Holy Bible or any other religion, what would have been the reaction? New York Times would have written an article, there would have been international outrage, we would have said India is going down the drain, fascism is taking over. But when something is connected to Ram, it is okay, chalta hai. Ramcharitmanas hai, so some intellectual criticism is there. See, this is the double standard, pseudo-secular hypocrisy of our so-called liberal and progressive friends. Had it happened to Muslims, Christians or any other religion, they would have been the first people to come out and defend. But when it happens to Hindus, it's okay, chalta hai attitude. They have taken Hindus as a punching bag. They have taken Hindus as a soft target. They have attitude of anything is chalta hai with Hindu. This is beyond politics. Ramcharitmanas is one of the most celebrated books of India. If you have an intellectual criticism, please do write a paper. Please do write a book on it. Please have an academic discussion. Dissect each and every line.
संजय चौधरी जी, मेरा सवाल ये है, क्योंकि विवेक साइलेंस जी का कहना है कि अखिलेश यादव जी ने खेद प्रकट किया और इसको कंडेम किया है। आपने कहीं सुना कि अखिलेश यादव जी ने कोई एक्शन लिया हो स्वामी प्रसाद मौर्य जी पर?
नहीं, अखिलेश जी ने इसका कहीं कोई विरोध नहीं किया है, कंडम नहीं किया है। और ये समाजवादी पार्टी की लगातार हार के बाद उस समाजवादी पार्टी की जिसकी विचारधारा लोहिया के ऊपर आधारित है, और लोहिया 1961 में ही इस उत्तर प्रदेश के अंदर रामायण मेले की शुरुआत करते हैं। और लोहिया कहते हैं कि रामायण का पाठ होना चाहिए और रामायण का जो राम का जो चरित्र है वो इस देश को जोड़ने का सबसे बड़ा तरीका है और रामचरितमानस का पाठ कराया जाना चाहिए। उसी 1961 में लोहिया की बात को उत्तर प्रदेश में कमलापत त्रिपाठी जब मुख्यमंत्री रहते हैं 1973 में, तो वो रामायण मेले का आयोजन चित्रकूट में कराते हैं। और 1981 में श्रीपद मिश्रा कांग्रेस के ही मुख्यमंत्री रामायण के मेले की परंपरा को आगे बढ़ाते हैं। तो जो रामायण जो उत्तर प्रदेश के जन जन में व्याप्त है, लोहिया उसे स्वीकार करते हैं। और आज की लोहिया की विचार पर चलने वाली समाजवादी पार्टी अपने राजनीतिक आदर्श की हत्या करके देश में ऐसे जातीय उन्माद को और ऐसे लोगों का सहारा लेकर विद्वेष उत्पन्न करती है। निश्चित रूप से आज लोहिया की आत्मा स्वर्ग में, निश्चित रूप से ऐसी राजनीतिक दल जो उनके आदर्श पर चलता है निराश हो रही है।
साइलेंस जी, मैं आपसे दोबारा पूछती हूं, विवेक साइलेंस जी, मैं आपसे दोबारा पूछती हूं कि आज के दिन कम से कम गांधी जी तो आपको याद होंगे ना, और उनके आखिरी शब्द भी याद होंगे ना, हे राम। आज मुझे बताइए कि रामचरितमानस का ऐसा व्यवहार, और आप कह रहे हैं कि आप इस देश में सेक्युलरिज्म को बढ़ावा दे रहे हैं और बीजेपी है वो ध्रुवीकरण कर रही है, पोलराइजेशन करती है। मैं आपसे पूछती हूं, क्या एक्शन लिया जाएगा स्वामी प्रसाद मौर्य पर? क्योंकि आप कह रहे हैं कि उन्होंने कंडेम किया है, विरोध हमें कहीं सुनाई नहीं दिया, पर अगर अखिलेश यादव जी ने कंडेम भी किया है तो कोई एक्शन होगा कि नहीं? क्योंकि ये रामचरितमानस इस देश के करोड़ों लोगों की आस्था का विषय है। इसको जलाना, इसके बारे में कुछ अपशब्द जो कहे थे वो तो बात छोड़ दीजिए, ये तो जला दी गई है। इस पर मैं पूछना चाहती हूं, क्या एक्शन होगा?
मैम देखिए, आपने भारतीय जनता पार्टी का नाम लिया तो मैं बता दूं आपको कि जिन लोगों ने भारतीय जनता पार्टी के नेताओं ने प्रभु रामचंद्र को इलेजिटिमेट कहा, उनकी मां को गाली दी, वो आज भारतीय जनता पार्टी में कैबिनेट मिनिस्टर हैं, डॉक्टर संजय निषाद, आपको याद होगा। हमारे मुख्यमंत्री योगी आदित्यनाथ ने चुनाव जीतने के लिए बजरंग बली को दलित तक बता दिया और उप मुख्यमंत्री शर्मा जी ने यहाँ लखनऊ में सीता माँ को टेस्ट ट्यूब बेबी बताया। लेकिन बड़ी अचरज होता है और अजीब लगता है कि भारतीय जनता
समाजवादी पार्टी क्या समाजवादी पार्टी बीजेपी के नक्शे कदम पर चलना चाहती है? आप मर्ज करेंगे बीजेपी के साथ?
नाविका जी, रामचरितमानस का सम्मान करते हुए कह रहा हूं, जो प्रतियां आप बोल रही हैं जलाई, उसमें समाजवादी पार्टी का कोई लेना देना नहीं है। वो अखिल भारतीय पिछड़ा समाज का एक संगठन था, उसने किया। हो सकता है भारतीय जनता पार्टी की उसमें साजिश हो। 4 लोगों को खड़ा करके रामचरितमानस को जलवा दिया और बोलने लगे कि समाजवादी पार्टी ने जलाया है। मैम, इसमें इसका कोई प्रमाण अगर आपके पास हो तो प्रत्यक्ष को प्रमाण की जरूरत नहीं है।
संजय चौधरी जी,
कोई प्रमाण हो, कोई भी प्रमाण आपके पास हो कि इसमें समाजवादी पार्टी का
बॉल भाजपा के कोर्ट में डाल दी गई है।
देखिए, समाजवादी
बॉल आपके कोर्ट में है।
संजय निषाद को कब
समाजवादी पार्टी के मित्र, मुझे लगता है कि जब ये जलाई जा रही थी तो वो स्वामी प्रसाद मौर्य जी की तस्वीर लगाए हुए थे और जो जलाने वाले थे। दुर्भाग्य की बात है कि इसके पीछे इतना बड़ा षड्यंत्र है कि जलाए जाने वालों में जो सबसे बड़ा नाम है वो मिस्टर सलीम का है। सलीम ने लोगों को इकट्ठा किया और उन्होंने कहा कि स्वामी प्रसाद मौर्य की प्रेरणा से हम लोग ये काम कर रहे हैं। तो स्वामी प्रसाद मौर्य की प्रेरणा से प्रेरित होकर सलीम इस प्रकार की आग को जला रहे हैं और समाजवादी पार्टी के
Lokesh Jindal ji, I want to ask you, is the Congress today with the Samajwadi Party?
We are against politicization of religion in any form. The very tendency of BJP, Samajwadi Party to drag Hindu religion into politics to get some political brownies is playing with emotions of the people, because Ramcharitmanas for many is a way to salvation. So such forms of tendencies must be desisted, it must be condemned.
Rahul
beyond political parties, beyond political lines.
Have you heard Mr. Rahul
with
Gandhi?
Due respect.
Have you heard Mr. Rahul Gandhi or any senior Congress leader condemning this action in Uttar Pradesh?
Navika ji, I absolutely know of a person who would have condemned. I absolutely know of a person who would have condemned. As you rightly invoked, had Mahatma Gandhi been alive, he would have definitely said this is wrong. No, we should respect every faith. Had it been Hindu, Muslim or Christian, we should respect every faith. And the sad aspect is, see, these kind of motherhood statements or broad statements are not enough. Will Lokesh ji, who I really respect, will Lokesh ji react in the same way had the place been that of a holy hadith? Or I'm not even saying Holy Quran, Holy Hadith, or any, something like anything related to Christ. So the issue is, they treat minorities as a vote bank and Hindus as a punching bag.
Allow me to reply, Navika ji. Ishwarji, when I'm here,
one minute. I'm completely out of time. The only issue here is lectures on stopping hate in India. While we welcome them, there is no space for hate in civilized society. Absolutely none. But lectures on stopping hate against other religions and actually hurting only the Hindus, using them as a punching bag. Is that fair? That's the question we are asking tonight. No religion must be looked at with some sort of condescending attitude, which is absolutely ensured in our constitution, equality to every religion. But then, why is Hindu phobia taken as just another thing? Anybody can do it because Hindus are a majority in this country. But nobody should do anything against any other religion. Is that the right attitude to have? Why not give the same respect to every single religion as ordained in the Constitution of India? That's the question Mr. Akhilesh Yadav and the Samajwadi Party need to answer tonight. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me on the News Hour. Good night. Be safe.
The News Hour at 9 will be right back after the break.
What's up guys? It's a great day. It's a beautiful day. और आप सब
Stop! All right, this is not your vlog, Akash. This is Gadget Times. I welcome you all. I am Pavni Jain, and this is our very special series where we are collaborating with different people on a variety of topics to bring the best for you guys, right from the experts. So today we have with us is Akash Malhotra, aka Wander with Sky. And he is somebody who creates insane and crazy travel content, goes to offbeat places and also does a lot of off-roading. ऑफ-रोडिंग पे मैंने स्ट्रेस इसलिए दिया था क्योंकि ऐसी जगहों पर ट्रैवल कंटेंट कैप्चर करना becomes a little bit tricky, but this guy, he does it very right. This is why today's video is on how to use an action camera like a pro, featuring Akash Malhotra, because it is easier to wander with Sky, but it is not easy to wonder how to use an action camera. Come on guys, right?
अच्छा था.
Alright, so to begin with, which is your go-to action camera, your most trustworthy device in the most challenging situations?
I think बहुत टाइम हो गया यूज करते हुए एंड एवरीवन नोज अबाउट दिस अबाउट मी इज दैट मैं बहुत एविड GoPro यूजर हूँ. सो GoPro इज माय गेम.
Oh, all right. As we can see, so we have lot of GoPros here. So इतने सारे GoPros यूज कर लिए हैं, तो सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट सवाल, GoPro को इस्तेमाल कैसे करते हैं भाई? ये प्लीज हमारी ऑडियंस को बताइए.
ये I think ये जो दिस क्वेश्चन व्हिच वाज आस्क्ड, राइट, इस्तेमाल कैसे करते हैं, इसके हर परम्यूटेशन कॉम्बिनेशन में जवाब है. फॉर एवरी के यूज केस, अगर आप कैमरे के अंदर बात करने वाले हैं, यूर अ व्लॉगर, देयर इज अ यूज केस. अगर आप बाइकर हैं, देयर इज अ यूज केस. अगर आप स्कूबा डाइवर हैं, देयर इज अ यूज केस. मतलब कैमरा इज सो वर्सेटाइल इन इटसेल्फ कि आप हर पर्सपेक्टिव में डिफरेंट सिचुएशन में कैमरे को डिफरेंट यूज कर सकते हैं. तो आपको अगर मुझसे थोड़ा डिटेल में सवाल पूछेंगे काश अगर ब्लॉग कैसे करते हैं, तो मैं आपको उस यूज केस में एक अलग सिचुएशन बताऊंगा. मगर मेरे हिसाब से द इजीएस्ट वे टू समबडी टू स्टार्ट अ GoPro इज जस्ट गो. मतलब पर्सपेक्टिव्स पे खेलो. कैमरा इतना छोटा है, आप जमीन पे रख सकते हो, आप फेंक सकते हो, कैच खेल सकते हो. मतलब सोच को ब्रॉडन करना जरूरी है. एंड आई थिंक दैट्स वेयर यू स्टार्ट यूजिंग GoPro कैमरा. टेक्निकलिटीज आर डिफरेंट व्हिच आई बिलीव हम बात करेंगे, बट द प्लेस टू स्टार्ट इज टू गो क्रेजी.
बट यहाँ पर हम जेन्युइनली ये सीखने वाले हैं कि एक्शन कैमरा को यूज कैसे करते हैं. तो खेलना मत, जैसे कि आकाश ने अभी बोला. बेसिक एक्सेसरीज आपको क्या क्या चाहिए?
सुपर. सो ये है शॉर्टी एंड जैसे आपने पूछा कि सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट क्या है, GoPro की चीज में माउंट करना बहुत क्रिटिकल है. बिकॉज अगर आप इसको हाथ में पकड़ते हैं, मेजरली यू विल एंड अप पुटिंग योर फिंगर समवेयर, क्योंकि इतना वाइड ऑफ एंगल है. मेरे साथ बहुत होता है शुरू में. अगर इवन इफ यू कीप अ फिंगर ओवर हियर, वो दिख जाएगा. तो इट्स बेटर टू माउंट इट इन समथिंग. यूजुअली अगर आप GoPro खरीदते हैं और GoPro का एडवेंचर किट लेते हैं, तो उसमें शॉर्टी आता ही है. So if you should be very smart enough to buy that, so you just mount on a shorty and you shoot yourself while you're talking. GoPro is about perspectives. It's not like a phone. तो अगर आपका हाथ दिख रहा है तो cool लगता है. So you need to really, get your mind working like that कि हाँ ये cool है. So this is important to have something hold GoPro. Also it gives you a place where you can keep it. अगर आपको चलते हुए शॉट लेना है. See, GoPro के साथ सबसे important बात ये है कि you have to understand कि कैमरा इज एन एक्सटेंशन ऑफ योरसेल्फ. अगर आप ऐसे सोचेंगे तो आप डिफरेंट पर्सपेक्टिव पे खेल पाएंगे. सो दैट्स वेयर यू स्टार्ट यूजिंग अ GoPro, एंड आई डोंट थिंक एज अ स्टार्टर यू नीड एनीथिंग मोर देन अ कैमरा एंड अ शॉर्टी.
Would you want to tell something to our viewers about the memory? Because इसमें normal, simple micro SD card use नहीं कर सकते हैं. Which one is it?
So the GoPro is capable of shooting. The Hero 10 is capable of shooting 120 FPS at 4K.
Okay.
ठीक है. अब सिचुएशन क्या है कि अगर आप 120 फ्रेम्स कर रहे हैं तो यू नीड अ मेमोरी कार्ड व्हिच कैन राइट एट दैट स्पीड. बहुत सारा डेटा है. एंड आप 5K भी शूट कर रहे हैं एट 60 FPS. दैट्स अ लॉट ऑफ डेटा.
सो लाइक वी सेड, बेसिक सेटअप में आपको चाहिए बैटरी, मेमोरी कार्ड, कैमरा इटसेल्फ एंड आल्सो शॉर्टी लाइक आकाश मेंशन्ड. ये सब आपको मोर और लेस किट में मिल जाएगा. आकाश की फेवरेट
मेमोरी कार्ड नहीं मिलेगा किट में.
Oh, okay. That is an important information, guys. That is very important. So you'll have to buy a memory card अलग से. थोड़ी सी हम कैमरा सेटिंग्स पे बात कर लेते हैं. आप इतने एक्सट्रीम वेदर सिचुएशंस में होते हैं, कंडीशंस में होते हैं, क्या है सबसे बेस्ट कैमरा सेटिंग्स?
सी मैं आपको 3 टेस्ट केस यूज केस बताऊंगा. ठीक है. आपका
time, you're watching the Newshour Agenda. I'm Padmaja Joshi. It's a sight that most people now haven't even raised their eyebrows at. After Samajwadi Party leader Swami Prasad Maurya led a month-long tirade against the Ramcharitmanas, now his supporters in the so-called Akhil Bharatiya OBC Mahasabha burned copies of its pages. Why? Because they claim that the Ramcharitmanas carried objectionable comments against women, Dalits and the scheduled tribes. Here's the thing. One can have a civilized debate about the relevance and content of religious texts, provided that this discussion is done in an even-handed fashion. But what is the point of burning the Ramcharitmanas? Why? What's the purpose? Simply because it's convenient and can be done without any fear of a pushback. For all these actions, if anything, Swami Prasad Maurya has actually been backed by his Neta Akhilesh Yadav and even promoted for good measure. No wonder then that even after all of this, even after 5 men who are his supporters have been arrested for burning the Ramcharitmanas, Swami Prasad Maurya remains strident and unapologetic.
वो एक जाति विशेष का है, वो पंडे पुजारी की बिरादरी का है जिसकी धंधे पर खतरा दिखाई पड़ रहा है। उनको आभास हो गया कि अगर मौर्य जी के इस आह्वान पर सभी आदिवासी दलित पिछड़े और महिलाएं मंदिर में आना बंद कर देंगी तो चढ़ावा बंद हो जाएगा, उनकी पेट पूजा बंद हो जाएगी, उनका धंधा ठप हो जाएगा। इसलिए वो खिसियाने हैं और वही पागलों की तरह भौंक रहे हैं।
मेरे न रहने पर भी मेरा नाम FIR में शामिल करना अपने आप मालूम होता है कि ये दबाव में थाने में बैठकर मजबूरी में FIR लिखी गई है, झूठी FIR लिखी गई है। हम गाली को धर्म नहीं मान सकते हैं। धर्म वो होता है जिसमें मानव कल्याण की भावना होती है, मानव सम्मान की भावना होती है। हम लोगों को सजग सावधान करते हैं कि ऐसे ढोंग पाखंड से दूर रहिए जो धर्म के नाम पर हमें गाली देती है। वो धर्म जो जाति विशेष वर्ग विशेष को अपशब्दों से प्रयोग करते हुए अपमानित करता है, हम समझते हैं वो स्वीकार नहीं है। ऐसे अंश बाहर हो जाने चाहिए।
Now he remains completely unapologetic, as you just heard, but the reason for it is as simple. Swami Prasad Maurya is an OBC leader of Uttar Pradesh, and in the narrow worldview of how politics should be done in India, somehow the accepted wisdom is that OBCs, Dalits, tribals will unite behind someone who shows them that the rest of the Hindu religion, the upper caste, Brahmins, they exclude the Dalits and the OBCs and even denigrate them. Literally, this is the politics of divide and rule. That is why the insult to and the burning of the Ramcharitmanas is nothing more than an effort to try and divide the Hindu faith, to basically insult one religion in the belief that perhaps the other section, the OBCs, the scheduled castes, the tribals, the women are going to be happy. The tragedy is that this politics wasn't just ignored by Swami Prasad Maurya's party chief, but even now he's backing him.
मैं आपसे कह रहा हूं, धार्मिक ग्रंथ के खिलाफ कोई नहीं है, ना मैं खिलाफ हूं। भगवान श्री राम के खिलाफ कोई नहीं है, रामचरितमानस के खिलाफ कोई नहीं। हमसे बोलो रामचरितमानस के खिलाफ नहीं है। स्टेटमेंट दिया है, कहा है कि मुख्यमंत्री अगर योगी न होते, धार्मिक स्थान से वहां आए होते, तो शायद वो सवाल मैं न पूछता उनसे। मैं मुख्यमंत्री जी से पूछने जा रहा हूं कि मैं शूद्र हूं कि नहीं हूं। बीजेपी वाले ये बताएं उनके नेता क्या क्या कहते हैं।
And that really brings me back to the single most perplexing question of this entire story. For anyone who has been watching Swami Prasad Maurya for the last 1 month, they will keep wondering why. Why is he doing this? Why is the Samajwadi Party backing him? Why are they carrying on a completely needless rant against someone's faith and then deliberately trying to aggravate the situation by burning the book? Do our netas really think that this is their vote catcher, or that it's simply a low-hanging fruit? It is simply convenient because this kind of politics can be practiced without any fear of consequences.
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Joining us now on the debate, Advocate Prashant Patel Umrao, spokesperson of the BJP in Uttar Pradesh, Shashank Shekhar Jha, lawyer Vivek Srivastav and Kush Ambedkarwadi, both political analysts. But my first question, and actually the only question in this whole debate, is going to be to Zeba Yasmeen, spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party. Why? What is the point of burning copies of the Ramcharitmanas, Zeba Yasmeen? What is achieved?
Padmaja, the video that we have seen in which Ramcharitmanas was being burnt, hardly 4 or 5 people were standing, and when the FIR was lodged, it is a crime. Samajwadi Party is against this act, and Swami Prasad Maurya has been also, registered under this FIR, and he's saying that he was not present and he did not initiate this. Neither he motivated them for doing this. It is a crime.
He
FIR
has carried on an unabated rant against the Ramcharitmanas for the last 1 month. These people are his supporters. He has instigated it. I do not understand why are we sitting here and splitting hair. First answer me, what is the point? Why is he going on and on from saying कुछ लोग जो हैं जिनको लग रहा है उनकी दुकान बंद हो जाएगी, महिलाएं दलित आना बंद कर देंगे, तो वो कुत्तों की तरह भौंक रहे हैं. I really doubt he would have the guts to say this about anyone else in this entire country. Then his supporters go and burn copies of the Ramcharitmanas. What is the attempt here? What are you trying to do?
Padmaja, they are not the supporters of Samajwadi Party, so Samajwadi Party would not defend them, right?
And so they are supporters of Swami Prasad Maurya. Swami Prasad Maurya is part of Samajwadi Party. He is now your general secretary. This is a very convenient 5 degrees of, separation that you have established.
But if you listen to the...
But they are his men. They are his men. He is instigating them. Where's the doubt?
Clarification of Swami Prasad Maurya. See, hardly 4 people are doing that.
4 people do it or half a person does it.
Swami Maurya or Samajwadi Party. Hardly
really,
4 people just
your
to get
concern
into
is
the
about
limelight.
how many people
you
were there.
You also know these days I am saying they should be behind the bars because they are neither supporters of Swami Prasad Maurya, they are neither supporters of Samajwadi Party.
But Swami Prasad Maurya has not distanced himself at all. And in fact, if anything, he has continued with his initial stand on the Ramcharitmanas, and you have separated by saying, oh, it's his personal view. He is in your party, he is promoted,
Padmaja,
he is
let me
clear
clarify. Don't
where he
mix
stands.
up. Yeah, Padmaja, let me clarify. Please don't mix these two activities. Statement of Swami Prasad Maurya, I'll clarify that also, but that has no link with burning Ramcharitmanas. Swami Prasad Maurya said that the differentiation shouldn't be done among the caste in Sanatan Dharam. That is what he
I will come to that
said.
differentiation
Nothing else
because
he
I
said
think
apart
it is
from
about
that.
time we call out this is such a uninformed, completely baseless rant that has gone on for very long, but I will just come to that in a second. Prashant Patel Umrao, first address the issue over here, which is being raised by the Samajwadi Party, that this has got nothing to do with Swami Prasad Maurya. He had a very academic point of difference with the Ramcharitmanas. अगर कोई जलाता है उसको, तो वो समाजवादी पार्टी की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी नहीं है और स्वामी प्रसाद मौर्य की तो बिल्कुल भी नहीं है.
Padmaja ji, this is the character of Samajwadi Party. First, Swami Prasad Maurya raised this issue, and all these people are his supporters. And not only Swami Prasad Maurya, Samajwadi Party National Spokesperson Rajkumar Bhatia abused Ramcharitmanas. Samajwadi Party MLA from Pratapgarh, Mr. R.K. Verma, also tweeted against Sri Ramcharitmanas. And this is the Samajwadi Party which ordered to fire on the Ram Bhakt in Ayodhya. This is the Samajwadi Party which opposed Sri Ram Mandir, and we have seen that before election Akhilesh Yadav was going to temples and temples. He was claiming himself a better Hindu. Now after election their real character has been exposed before the public. For the appeasement politics, for vote bank of a particular community, they are again and again abusing Hindus, Sri Ramcharitmanas and Prabhu Sri Ram. And this is the Swami Prasad Maurya is doing everything on behest of Akhilesh Yadav. We have seen video of Akhilesh Yadav today, and he has supported Swami Prasad Maurya. He himself has raised question on this Ramcharitmanas, and here Samajwadi Party.
All of this smoke and mirrors not helping. This is the real characters of the BJP.
See, whether we talk about Rashtriya Adhyaksh Akhilesh Yadav ji, he is also from Sanatan Dharma, he is also a follower of Ram. And same goes with Maurya ji. But yes, Maurya ji was mentioning about a particular line where Uch and Nicha was differentiated. This is what he said. What I am saying is that as my brother was saying that we, just for the vote bank, Rashtriya Adhyaksh ji was visiting from temple to temple. How can you judge somebody's astha? I mean, you can't question somebody's astha. You are not a, deciding factor who's going to decide ki astha kiski zyada hai, kiski kam hai.
So how
and
you
the other thing is,
decide the Ramcharitmanas, but nobody can decide your astha. Your actions cannot be judged by anyone, but you will judge कि भाई रामचरितमानस में ऊंच नीच की गई है, रामचरितमानस किसके विरोधी है, हिंदू धर्म किसके विरोधी है, ब्राह्मण किसके विरोधी है. You get to pass judgment on everything. But then you say नहीं हम तो सनातन धर्म को बिलीव करते हैं, हम सनातनी हैं.
समाजवादी पार्टी respect all holy books.
अरे मैम, who gave the समाजवादी पार्टी the license to decide कि रामचरितमानस कैसा है और कैसा नहीं है? कौन सा भाई, आपने कौन सी पढ़ाई की हुई है, कहां के पंडित हैं, कौन है स्वामी प्रसाद मौर्य जो कि ही सिटिंग इन जजमेंट एंड डिसाइडिंग कि क्या सही है क्या गलत है. नाउ लेट मी ब्रिंग इन, बिफोर आई ब्रिंग इन शशांक शेखर झा, लेट मी एक्चुअली जस्ट कॉल आउट, जस्ट होल्ड ऑन अ सेकंड, जस्ट कॉल दिस आउट फॉर एवरीवन हु इज सेइंग कि भाई अभी रिलीजन में बहुत ऊंच नीच हो रही है, रामचरितमानस इज एंटी दलित, एंटी वुमेन, एंटी दिस एंड दैट. आई वांट टू शो यू एक्चुअली वन पिक्चर व्हिच एवरीवन विल रिमेंबर ऑफ द Ram Janmabhoomi Bhumi Pujan that was happening. In that picture, the one person you could see who was actually the Yajman of the entire ceremony, who is that man? That man, and remember Swami Prasad Maurya is saying कि भाई रामचरितमानस तो OBCs के खिलाफ है, वो पिछड़ों के खिलाफ है. Who is the man who was doing the Bhumi Pujan? He is Narendra Modi.
No.
He is an OBC. He was the man who was sitting there for the Bhumi Pujan of the Ram Janmabhoomi. And yet there are the Vidwans among us who are telling us, oh, Ramcharitmanas is anti-lower caste. It's anti-OBC. This, ma'am, is nothing more than politics, Vivek Srivastava. The reality is far removed.
See, what has been going on for centuries, it is going on right now. You show the fear of God, you show the fear of scriptures, you show the power of the upper castes, and then you just simply try to, put the entire guilt on the backwards and the Dalits. But things have to change. There might have been an aberration right now, but let us acknowledge that the politics of the future and the politics which will make India a superpower will be the politics of the Dalits, the OBCs and the Muslims together.
What are you talking about? Talk about the example I quoted, sir. That for the Ram Janmabhoomi, the man who's at the center, the man who's in the spotlight is an OBC himself. What anti-OBC sentiment are you talking about?
He doesn't represent OBCs. Narendra Modi might be an OBC by caste, but he doesn't represent the OBCs.
Who represents OBCs? Swami Prasad Maurya represents OBCs, but Narendra Modi doesn't. Why, bhai?
He represents the Brahmin.
Because you have the OBC certification agency in your house, and you have decided he is not an OBC. Vivek Srivastava.
एक प्राइम मिनिस्टेरियल कैंडिडेट ओबीसीज का रिप्रेजेंटेटिव नहीं है.
My friend, let me show you another picture from the Ram Janmabhoomi movement. The one woman who was most prominent in the Ram Janmabhoomi movement is Uma Bharti. Uma Bharti is a Lodh. She herself is an OBC. What are you talking about? Who was the chief minister of Uttar Pradesh at the time of the Ram Janmabhoomi movement? It was Kalyan Singh. He is an OBC. He was an OBC. They are all OBCs. What are you talking about? You don't know nothing.
एक्सेप्ट किए हुए लोग हैं.
कौन
I know everything.
की बात कर रहे हैं सर?
Dalits, if they are trying to question you now, if they are questioning a few lines, and which means a lot to them
अब
because
आप
of their
लाइन
rights.
पे आ गए. अभी तो आपको लग रहा था कि पूरा का पूरा ग्रंथ एंटी ओबीसी है. अभी तो पूरा रामचरितमानस एंटी ओबीसी था. अभी तो हिंदू धर्म एंटी ओबीसी था. अब बताइए कि इसी धर्म में, इसी मूवमेंट में कल्याण सिंह को जगह कैसे मिली? उमा भारती, हाउ डिड शी बिकम वन इन द फ्रंट लाइन? How is Narendra Modi? And by the way, here is a beautiful thing. I actually want to read out to you, Shashank Shekhar Jha, before you come in, I want to read out to you an article that was printed on the day of the Bhumi Pujan. What does the article say? That article says, in an unusual move that has left everyone bemused, Prime Minister Modi chose to play an all-encompassing role during the Bhumi Pujan in Ayodhya. He was not only the chief guest, but also the master of ceremonies and the official yajman, which would have otherwise been done by a Brahmin. Now, the headline could very well have been, in a very unusual and progressive move, an OBC is performing all the rituals that otherwise a Brahmin would have. But that is not convenient. What is convenient? It's convenient to say, oh,
who are unhappy about this.
You're happy. Of course, you should be happy, sir.
Absolutely not. There were many who are unhappy about it, and Mr. Narendra Modi does not represent the backwards and the Dalits of the nation. One particular face doesn't represent. They have accepted the Brahminical supremacy of the society, they advocate it and they preach it in their own way.
Right. Okay,
you
so
are
now
not letting the Dalits, I am against
now the backward certification agency has decided that Mr. Modi is a Brahmin. Shashank Shekhar Jha. चलिए, आपने उनको ब्राह्मण ही बना दिया. Go on. शशांक शेखर झा, अब क्या ही बचा है?
ब्राह्मण नहीं, वो ब्राह्मणिकल.
नमस्ते पद्मजा जी और बाकी सभी गेस्ट्स को. पद्मजा जी, 2 पॉइंट है, लीगल और सोशल. लीगल पॉइंट पे पूछा जा रहा है आपके शो में समाजवादी पार्टी की तरफ से कि व्हाई एन एफआईआर हैज बीन रजिस्टर्ड अगेंस्ट मौर्य साहब. So this is as per Supreme Court's own guidelines. Supreme Court in its guidelines against hate speeches has clearly stated that whoever will try to initiate hate in this country, whoever will try to instigate mob, whoever will try to disrupt the harmony of the society, an FIR must be lodged against the person. अगर किसी ने कुछ बोला, उसके कहने पे किसी ने कुछ किया, उन दोनों के ऊपर में FIR होना चाहिए. और आज उत्तर प्रदेश ने यही किया है. तो उत्तर प्रदेश पुलिस के पास और कोई ऑप्शन नहीं था. सुप्रीम कोर्ट का गाइडलाइन बड़ा स्पष्ट है. जहां तक ये लोग कह रहे हैं कि ब्राह्मण पेट्रियार्कल की बात जो लेफ्ट आपके चैनल पे कह रहे हैं, बड़ा वियर्ड है. रामचरितमानस, तुलसीदास जी ने राम के चरित्र के बारे में लिखा है. राम एक क्षत्रिय थे जिन्होंने लंका पे जो एक ब्राह्मण राजा था जिसका नाम था रावण, उसको मारने गए. किसके साथ? सारे ओबीसी समाज वाले लोग के साथ, सारे वानर सेना वंचित जितने भी लोग थे जो जंगल में रहते थे उनके साथ, आदिवासी समाज के साथ जाके और एक धर्म की युद्ध की. और देखिए इस स्टोरी को लिखा किसने था ओरिजिनली? वाल्मीकि ने. वाल्मीकि किस कास्ट से आते हैं? तो आई गेस ये बड़ा छोटा सोच है जो कह रहे हैं. और एक और बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट बात है, जो एक शब्द की बार बार बात हो रही है, शूद्र शब्द की बात आ रही है रामचरितमानस से. तो मुझे लगता है इस देश में सबसे बड़े दलित विचारक है बाबा साहब अंबेडकर. उनकी किताब पढ़नी चाहिए उनको. उनकी किताब के चैप्टर 1 के पैराग्राफ नंबर 3 में उन्होंने लिखा है साफ साफ कि यहां पे शूद्र का मतलब शेड्यूल कास्ट से नहीं है. शूद्र का मतलब वो नहीं है जैसा ये लोग निकाल रहे हैं. तो मेरा मानना है कि आउट ऑफ कॉन्टेक्स्ट जाके समाजवादी पार्टी जिस तरीके से ये राजनीति करने की कोशिश कर रही है. आई जस्ट रिमेंबर समवन फ्रॉम 1970s. दिन 1970s, someone from Uttar Pradesh has burned Ramcharitmanas papers inside assembly, and after that he never could win any election in his entire life. So I guess this thing, what they are trying to do against Ramcharitmanas again in 2023, shows that they have lack of understanding about the entire polity of in this country.
Lack of understanding about one religion and two even what the people's sentiment at this point is. Kush Ambedkarwadi. Here is a situation where 4 days ago, the entire country of Netherlands and across the world, in fact, there were protests. Why? Because some far-right activists decided to burn the Quran. Dutch activists. That was known as Islamophobia. But here a political party stands in one of the most populous states of our country with the largest Hindu population. And they get away with this by calling it freedom of expression. How is this not hate speech?
Exactly.
इसमें साफ तौर पे आपको ये समझने की जरूरत है कि जिन्होंने रामचरितमानस को जलाया वो लोग कौन है? क्या वो मुस्लिम है? क्या वो क्रिश्चियन है? वो लोग हैं जो हिंदू में ही आते हैं और हिंदू की 85% जनता है जिसको रामचरितमानस में अभद्र तरीके से किसी न किसी पंक्ति में बोला गया
नहीं
है।
सर, ये नेता है।
अभी जैसे हम
ये
लोग
हिंदू
बात
नहीं
कर
है,
रहे थे,
ये अवसरवादी हैं और ये नेता हैं। इनका कोई धर्म नहीं होता, इनका धर्म है अवसर। इनको लगा कि यहाँ पर एक अच्छा अवसर है कि वे जीरो कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस कुछ स्टंट कर रहे हैं।
मुस्लिम है, कौन सिख है, कौन ईसाई है,
ये अवसरवादी हैं। ये कौन से हिंदू हैं? अगर विवेक श्रीवास्तव कह सकते हैं दैट मिस्टर मोदी डजंट रिप्रेजेंट ओबीसीज, सो दिस ओबीसी महासभा डेफिनेटली डजंट रिप्रेजेंट हिंदूज और ओबीसी, दे रिप्रेजेंट ओनली देमसेल्व्स।
नहीं, मैं विवेक श्रीवास्तव की बात से बिल्कुल भी सहमत नहीं हूं। देश के जो प्रधानमंत्री हैं नरेंद्र मोदी जी, वो ओबीसी समाज से आते हैं। और मैं आपको एक छोटा सा उदाहरण दूंगा मणिशंकर अय्यर का। उन्होंने देश के प्रधानमंत्री को नीच वर्ड बोला था, जिसपे मोदी जी ने कहा था मेरी जाति को गाली दे रहा है। और तुलसीदास दुबे ने क्या लिखा है, जय बरनाथन तेली कुमारा। यानी कि देश के प्रधानमंत्री, माननीय मेरे देश के प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी की जाति को तुलसीदास नीच बता रहा है। अब बताइए क्या करें उस ग्रंथ का। तो अब यह समय आ गया है कि उसको बदलाव किया जाए। आप मुगल गार्डन का नाम बदल रहे हो कि जी वो गुलामी का प्रतीक है। अब मनुस्मृति है जिसमें गलत चीज लिखी
अम्बेडकर जी, आपको सच में लगता है, आप सच में अगर बिल्कुल आपको लगता है कि अगर कोई चीज है जो कि प्रॉब्लमैटिक है, उनमें बदलाव करना चाहिए, तो आपको इक्वली सपोर्ट करना चाहिए उन डच लोगों का जो कि कह रहे हैं कि हमें इस रिलीजियस टेक्स्ट में भी, कुरान में भी कुछ कमियां, कुछ खामियां दिखाई देती हैं। क्या आप उनको सपोर्ट करते हैं सर?
अब मैं डच थोड़ी ना हूं, ना मैं मुसलमान
आप डच नहीं है, बट अगर आप अम्बेडकरवादी होकर के रामचरितमानस पर ज्ञान दे सकते हैं तो आप थोड़ा सा डच पे भी ज्ञान दे दीजिए। ऐसी क्या बात है? सभी पढ़ते हैं, इट्स अ स्मॉल वर्ल्ड।
भाई क्यों मैं, अरे भाई पड़ोस के घर में क्या चल रहा है, क्या नहीं चल रहा है, मुझे क्या लेना देना। मैं तो अपने घर की टपकती छत को रोकूंगा ना, कि मेरे घर की छत टपक रही है या पड़ोसी के घर की छत टपक रही है।
सिर्फ रामचरितमानस से ही आपकी घर की छत में छेद हो गया है।
बात कर रहे हैं आप लोग,
बाकी सब कुछ परफेक्ट है कुछ अम्बेडकरवादी जी, बस रामचरितमानस ही आपके घर की छत में छेद कर रहा है।
आप कौन? आप खुद कह रही है आप सनातन धर्मी है। बीजेपी की तरफ से प्रशांत उमराव बैठे हैं, वो सनातनी है। हम सब लोग सनातनी बैठे हैं, सनातनी बैठ के हम शास्त्रार्थ कर रहे हैं कि गलत चीज लिखी गई है तो उसे मिटाओ।
पर सर, क्योंकि आप एक बहुत ही बड़े विद्वान हैं, आपसे मैं जानना चाहती हूं कि आप जब ये शोध करते हैं तो आप सब किताबों का शोध करते होंगे, क्योंकि धर्म में कई त्रुटियां हैं, खामियां हैं, कमियां हैं। आप देखते होंगे, पढ़ते होंगे, आप स्कॉलर हैं, तो आपको यह भी ज्ञात होगा कि हर तरीके की किताबों में कुछ कुछ कमियां हैं। उन सब का विरोध और उन सब पे शोध और उन सब का बहिष्कार होना चाहिए। जैसे कि इंडिया में स्वामी प्रसाद मौर्य हैं, इतने बड़े क्रांतिकारी, वैसे ही नेदरलैंड्स में कुछ वहां के भी क्रांतिकारी हैं। क्या आप उनको भी उतना ही सपोर्ट करते हैं?
को बिठाते हैं ना।
क्या आप उन डच प्रोटेस्टर्स को सपोर्ट करते हैं?
करता हूं मैं, आपके चैनल पे बैठ के कह रहा हूं। अब पूरे अंतर्राष्ट्रीय चीजें आप मेरे से मत पूछिए ना, कि मेरे घर में आग लगी है, मेरे से आप अंतर्राष्ट्रीय ज्ञान मांगेंगे तो उसका क्या?
ठीक है, आपको चलिए अंतर्राष्ट्रीय ज्ञान में आपको नहीं पढ़ना है। चलिए प्रशांत पटेल उमराव, अपने घर में जो कमियां दिख रही हैं, बस उसको ठीक करने की बात की जा रही है, उसमें आप राजनीति क्यों ला रहे हैं? प्रशांत पटेल उमराव,
देखिए आर्टिकल 25 का राइट टू कॉन्साइंस एंड प्रैक्टिस प्रोफेस ऑफ एंड प्रोपेगेट ऑफ रिलीजन की बात करता है कि आपको जो रिलीजन है उसको आप प्रैक्टिस करिए, प्रोपोगेट करिए। लेकिन कहीं पर भी ये नहीं है कि आप दूसरे धर्म की मान्यताओं को, दूसरे के बिलीफ को आप हर्ट करें। रामचरितमानस से देश नहीं चलता, देश संविधान से चलता है। आपको रामचरितमानस पसंद है तो आप रामचरितमानस पढ़िए, कुरान पसंद है कुरान पढ़िए, बाइबल पसंद है बाइबल पढ़िए। और जो लोग जलाने की बात कर रहे हैं, जला रहे हैं, वो तो स्वयं क्लेम कर रहे हैं कि हम हिंदू नहीं हैं। तो आपको किसने अधिकार दिया कि आप किसी के बिलीफ सिस्टम पे सवाल उठाएं? अगर बिलीफ सिस्टम पे सवाल उठाने की बात आएगी, कमियां उठाने की बात आएगी, तो बहुत सारे धर्म ग्रंथों में, बहुत सारी किताबों में कुछ बातें ऐसी लिखी हुई होती हैं जो आज के समय में लोगों को पसंद नहीं आएंगी। लेकिन जो धर्म है बिल्कुल तर्क से नहीं चलता, वो किसी का बिलीफ सिस्टम है, उसको बिलीफ को आप रहने दीजिए। संविधान में अगर आपको कोई कमी नजर आती है तो संविधान में अमेंडमेंट करिए। धार्मिक पुस्तकों में अमेंडमेंट नहीं हो सकता। जो अगर आप इस पे अमेंडमेंट की बात करेंगे तो फिर सवाल बाकी जगह उठेंगे और फिर कहीं ना कहीं लॉ एंड ऑर्डर की भी सिचुएशन क्रिएट होती है। अब विवेक श्रीवास्तव ओबीसी पे सर्टिफिकेट बांट रहे हैं, ये श्रीवास्तव जी होकर के ओबीसी का सर्टिफिकेट बांट रहे हैं।
नहीं, यहाँ इट इज नॉट द क्वेश्चन ऑफ रिलीजन हियर, इट इज नॉट द क्वेश्चन ऑफ रिलीजन ओवर हियर, इट इज द क्वेश्चन ऑफ दलित अपलिफ्टमेंट एंड दलित्स हु आर ट्राइंग टू रेज देयर वॉइसेस एंड ट्राइंग टू क्वेश्चन about their rights. It is about that. It is not about religion alone. You have to understand. And our religion has been exploitative of the Dalits for centuries.
Mr. Srivastava, you know, again, it is so amusing.
No, I mean, I don't have a right, maybe.
Casually you say these things with absolutely no empirical data. Now let me give you specific examples. In December 2017, one of the world's richest temples, the Tirupati Devasthanam, actually started training members of the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe to become priests. On its own, it started training. But no, Vivek Srivastava can sit on a TV debate and say, historically, the Hindu faith has always suppressed Dalits and scheduled tribes.
No, see, listen to me now.
There are priests being trained at Tirupati.
No,
now,
I am very clear about it.
Kerala, as far back as 2018, Vivek Srivastava allowed Dalit priests to take charge of government-owned temples. There were Dalit priests who were taking charge of government-owned temples. But no, you can sit on a TV debate and say, historically and even currently, you have got Hindu faith suppressing scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. Sir, more often than not, which is why I said, people who make such claims are not the believers of any faith whatsoever. They are believers only in their own propaganda, which is largely fact-free and only political. I'm going to leave it at that. Thanks very much, all gentlemen. Zeba Yasmin for joining me. Today, the Congress's 146-day-long Bharat Jodo Yatra culminated in Srinagar with great fanfare, and as the almost 4,000-kilometer journey marked its end, the man who led the Yatra, Congress MP Rahul Gandhi, extolled the virtues of his party's campaign. While doing so, he took the opportunity to take a jibe at the Modi government, throwing down the gauntlet for the Prime Minister and Home Minister. He said, "If you really think that Kashmir has improved, then I dare you. Amit Shah and Narendra Modi should walk the streets of Srinagar."
I walked through Jammu all the way here. I met the people of Jammu. I met the people of Ladakh. I met farmers, small business people, youngsters, everybody. I didn't meet pretty much anybody who was happy. You know, I felt that almost nobody was excited about what was going on in Jammu and Kashmir. It was my experience that I didn't meet anybody who was excited or happy about what is going on. बीजेपी के लोग यात्रा क्यों नहीं कर देते जम्मू से लाल चौक? If situation is so good, then why doesn't Mr. Amit Shah walk from Jammu to Kashmir? So I don't think that argument holds. जैसे मोदी जी हैं, अमित शाह जी हैं, आरएसएस के लोग हैं, उन्होंने हिंसा नहीं देखी। डरते हैं? नहीं डरते हैं। देखिए, डरते हैं। यहाँ पे हम 4 दिन पैदल चले। मैं आपको गारंटी देके कह सकता हूँ कि बीजेपी का कोई नेता ऐसे नहीं चल सकता। और इसलिए नहीं क्योंकि जम्मू कश्मीर के लोग, इसलिए नहीं क्योंकि जम्मू कश्मीर के लोग उनको चलने नहीं देंगे, इसलिए क्योंकि वो डरते हैं।
The BJP, of course, was quick with its fact check, recalling historical facts. Union Minister Anurag Thakur listed instances when BJP leaders put their lives on the line to unfurl a flag at Lal Chowk, and also contrasted it with Congress government's attempt in the past to thwart similar bids.
1992 में भारतीय जनता पार्टी के अध्यक्ष डॉक्टर मुरली मनोहर जोशी जी ने और उस समय नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने बम धमाकों के बीच में और बंदूकों के साए के बीच में तिरंगा झंडा लाल चौक पर फहराने का काम किया था। 2011 में युवा मोर्चा के अध्यक्ष के नाते मैंने अपने साथियों के साथ कलकत्ता से कश्मीर की यात्रा लाल चौक पर तिरंगा झंडा फहराने के लिए की, तो मारा गया, हमारे कार्यकर्ताओं को जेल में बंद कर दिया गया। 2014 के बाद हालात कैसे बदले हैं, कश्मीर में शांति अमन आई है, और राहुल गांधी जी प्रधानमंत्री जी का धन्यवाद भी करना भूल गए जिन्होंने अनुच्छेद 370-35 को सदा के लिए समाप्त किया।
आज यदि आप झंडा फहराने में सफल हो रहे हैं तो वो तब जब हमारे संस्थापक अध्यक्ष ने इसके लिए अपने प्राण बलिदान किए। हमने उस कश्मीर के लिए जान की बाजी लगाकर हमारे नेताओं ने वहां जाकर झंडा फहराया, तो आज वो हालात बने हैं कि वहां पर जाकर 26 जनवरी 15 अगस्त को डल लेक पे तिरंगे की पूरी लाइन दिखती है, कतार दिखती है।
He is walking only because of Prime Minister Modi and Amit Shah ji. Otherwise, he should remember in 1992 when it was his government in the center and the state, when Prime Minister Modi with Murli Manohar Joshi ji went to hoist the national flag, it was among the gunfire.
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 2 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Vivek Srivastava continues with us. We are joined by Qamar Zaman Chaudhary, leader of the Congress, Dr. Suman C. Raman, political analyst, Javed Beg, political activist. But my first question is to Sanju Verma, national spokesperson of the BJP. Can you or anyone in your party do the walk in Srinagar from Jammu to Srinagar? Sanju Verma, as challenged.
Padmaja, I just want to tell Rahul Gandhi and his acolytes that on the 5th of August 2019, in a historic decision to abrogate Article 370 and therefore Article 35A, are things which I never imagined would happen during my lifetime. And I think if anyone on the panel disagrees, then he or she is kidding themselves. And I say this for a reason, because I clearly remember that, there were taunts that करके दिखा दो, यहाँ पर खून की नदियां बहाई जाएंगी यदि आपने अनुच्छेद 370 और अनुच्छेद 35A को निरस्त कर दिया. But the fact remains that while more needs to be done, nobody can dispute the fact that today Kashmir is on the route to prosperity. Okay. Yes, there have been lone wolf incidents which need to be eradicated, and I'm sure the government will work doubly harder to ensure that Kashmiri Pandits eventually get their due. But it is thanks to Narendra Modi, thanks to Amit Shah, thanks to Ajit Doval, that at least we are having a discussion and a debate on the horrific Kashmiri genocide of 1990. Rahul Gandhi, Shashi Tharoor, Digvijay Singh, Rashid Alvi, their full-time job is either undermining and demoralizing our army. Digvijay Singh कहते हैं कि, Pulwama attack, surgical strike, show us the proof. Rashid Alvi follows suit. Rahul Gandhi says चीन की सेना ने तवांग सेक्टर में घुसकर हमारी सेना की पिटाई की. And then this Rahul Gandhi has the audacity to say मैं मोहब्बत की दुकान खोल रहा हूँ.
So you're saying that today Rahul Gandhi is feeling safe, it is because of what the BJP has done, Qamar Zaman Chaudhary. But before you answer that, I also want to show you something that the former advisor to actually Vajpayee ji today said. He said, watch this video to know what Rahul Gandhi and his Bharat Jodo Yatra have achieved for India. Tens of thousands of Kashmiris, Muslims and Pandits are spontaneously coming to greet the Tiranga. Only those living in Kashmir in recent violent years can appreciate this achievement. So, sir, basically, the Congress and its supporters are acknowledging that the situation in Kashmir is such that tens of thousands are turning up at Lal Chowk. Tens of thousands.
Precisely.
Padmaja, you, me, all of us will want to visit Kashmir, have a free run of the valleys of Kashmir. There is no doubt about it. But then 100 civilians, more than 100 security forces have been martyred after the abrogation of Article 370.
Sir, today I want to talk about the Bharat Jodo Yatra and the Kashmir of today.
Right now.
The 30th of January 2023. On the 30th of January 2023, if tens of thousands are people on the street, either you are saying that the situation is such that they are confident they'll be safe, or you are saying that Kashmir is still a hellhole where nobody is safe. Both can't be true. Both can't be true. Either it can be a hellhole or it can be a place where tens of thousands of civilians take to the streets.
Padmaja, the Bhakt Mandali of the Bharatiya Janata Party will proudly say that how Narendra Modi and Murli Manohar Joshi unfurled the national flag in Lal Chowk.
But ये तो भक्त मंडली नहीं है, ये तो कांग्रेसी थे जो कि लाल चौक पे कह रहे हैं कि हम तो हजारों की संख्या में आए हैं और कितना मजा आ रहा है.
अरे पद्मजा,
ये भक्त मंडली तो थी नहीं, ये तो कांग्रेस ही थे जो इतने खुश थे।
प्लीज
This man is insane.
आई एम टेलिंग यू, नहीं वही चीज बात कर रहा हूं मैं कि इनको ये भरोसा, ये बोलना चाहते हैं कि राहुल गांधी वहां पे झंडा फहराए बिकॉज ऑफ नरेंद्र मोदी। ये नहीं कभी बोलेंगे कि वहां पे जो हालात है वहां पे कि चुन कर जो इमिग्रेंट्स को मारा गया वहां पे, जो वहां पे आज भी पॉलिटिशियंस को लद्दाख में, लेह में, कश्मीर में आज भी जो है कि वहां पे नजरबंद करके रखा गया वहां पे। द एंटायर जम्मू एंड कश्मीर पीपल आर स्टिल एंग्री।
Okay, sir, you still haven't answered the question. So let me actually ask a local, because I think somebody who stays in Srinagar will be much better equipped. So Javed Beg, is it the arrival of the Congress and Rahul Gandhi which emboldened Kashmiris enough to come out on the streets and say, हाँ आज हम तिरंगा अपना लहरा सकते हैं?
Padmaja, the atmosphere of peace and prosperity is there. Yes, there is no doubt. But who is to be given this credit to? There are two parties to this atmosphere. First party is Honorable PM Narendra Modi ji and his team, his vision for J&K. And the second most important party is people of Kashmir, who have chosen the path of peace and development. And Rahul Gandhi is very sharp in criticizing and taunting BJP, RSS. Rather, he is abusing BJP and RSS. But I think he has forgotten who he should give this credit to. It is Honorable PM and his vision that Rahul Gandhi, who people of Kashmir hate the most, if people of Kashmir hate anybody in our country, that is only Gandhi family.
No, but why will they hate?
Because,
in fact, today Priyanka Gandhi said that Mr. Gandhi felt like he was going home because he's a Kashmiri Pandit. You want the Pandits to come back? He's come.
No. This family equally hates Kashmiris the way they hate Hindus. It's not their home, because they brought every misery and sufferings to people of Kashmir. It is Congress. And now his latest ally, National Conference,
Dr. Suman Siraman.
Elections in 87. I'm a Kashmiri. You know, I come from Kashmir. I'm a kosher, as every Kashmiri Pandit and Kashmiri Muslim is. He's not a Kashmiri. How can he say he's a Kashmiri? And people did not welcome him. People hate Congress. People hate Gandhi family.
Tell this
because
gentleman to stop,
we
please.
suffered at the hands of Gandhi family and Congress. We suffered because of Congress and National Conference.
Okay, and yet despite that political history, today the Congress, as it should be, was there and it was safe at Lal Chowk.
Padmaja.
Yes.
Padmaja, first of all, I think the Bharat Jodo Yatra has gone very well, and it has established Rahul Gandhi, or re-established him as a significant political figure. So to that extent, I think the rally has achieved its objective. As far as what it did in Kashmir is concerned, clearly there has been an enthusiastic response, and Sanju Verma did not answer. I mean, she took off on virtually everything except answer the question whether anybody from the BJP would take up the gauntlet that had been thrown down by Rahul Gandhi.
Actually, it's very funny you ask, sir. I don't know, maybe you don't follow the news. 25th of July, actually a massive Tiranga Yatra was led to Lal Chowk by the BJYM. There were in excess of 150 workers of the BJYM who went to Lal Chowk with the Tiranga Yatra on the 25th of July. But anyhow, go on. Yes.
May I please, Suman Siraman?
No, wait, let him finish his point. He's only started speaking. Yes, Suman Siraman.
Leadership of the BJP. No, I've only started speaking. So basically his question was to throw down the gauntlet to senior leaders of the BJP, including the Union Home Minister and others, to actually participate in such a walk. Now there is no harm in him asking that. Why not, take him up on that? And as far as the issue of hoisting flags is concerned, it has been done many times. So it is not like the Tiranga has been hoisted
we've been over the flag hoisting, and to put the matter to rest, it was done yesterday by Mr.
So
Gandhi.
let's be very clear on that.
Direct challenge, you are still not answering, Sanju Verma. Why isn't the Prime Minister doing the Bharat Jodo Yatra like Mr. Gandhi from Jammu to Srinagar, or the Home Minister?
No, not at all.
You know, Padmaja, I am not here to justify Rahul Gandhi's inanities,
But we will take Rahul Gandhi's advice seriously once Rahul Gandhi improves his tally. He won only 52 seats in Lok Sabha 2019 and 2024 is going to be worse off. So hame mat sikhaiye, first learn to put together your electorally vanquished party and then give gyan to Bharatiya Janata Party. I just want to now come to the main topic. Let's be very clear, Padmaja. The fact of the matter is that today 800 central laws, including the RTI Act, including recommendations of the 7th Pay Commission, including abolition of interviews for Group C and Group D posts, including establishment of central administrative tribunals, including recruitments through the National Recruitment Agency, including implementation of Indian Penal Code. All these things were not applicable to Jammu and Kashmir earlier, which the Modi government has done. And the most important one, we last May, in May 2022, we decided to implement the recommendations of the Delimitation Commission. सबने कहा Delimitation Commission की तो recommendations कभी मोदी सरकार implement करेगी ही नहीं, which is the first step towards bringing further normalcy by having statewide elections.
Okay.
So please do not doubt our bona fides.
All right. So, on the limited point, of course, what are the benefits of the abrogation of 370-35A? We've debated that ad nauseum over the last 6 years. But on the very limited point of whether anyone has the courage to walk the streets of Srinagar, not very long ago, in fact, on the 26th of January, just a day before that, there were common citizens who went to Lal Chowk, who unfurled the flag there. Last year in July, there was a massive Tiranga Yatra which was held. We have multiple motorcycle expeditions which have also been done in Srinagar, gone right to the heart of Lal Chowk, and this has happened. And anyone at all, ask whether CRPF, army men, journalists who have been to Lal Chowk before the last 6 years and ask them what their experience has like. The worst example you remember is that image of a CRPF man being beaten and heckled as he was going back after his duty got over. That is the change. I'll leave it at that. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Sanju Verma for joining me.
The News Hour at 10 will be right back after the break.
सो गाइस, आज हम हैं यहाँ पे विद द गैलेक्सी A14 5G एंड ये सैमसंग का नया बजट स्मार्टफोन है. लेट्स सी, इसको अनबॉक्स करते हैं.
You're watching the News Hour at 10. After a shocking video showing DMK Neta Palanimanikam abusing and manhandling a Dalit boy for entering a temple goes viral, the DMK takes action, suspends the abusive leader. Governor versus BRS Rao explodes in Telangana. Tamilisai speaks exclusively to Times Now, attacks KCR for skipping Republic Day event, says he undermined event despite court directions, alleges government has not been following protocols for the last 2 years. Karnataka Congress MLA Rizwan Arshad has filed a complaint with the Election Commission of India, saying that the BJP government is removing minorities from voter lists. Karnataka Congress has filed a complaint against ex-minister and BJP leader Ramesh Jarkiholi over cash for votes case. In turn, Ramesh Jarkiholi releases audio tape allegedly of DK Shivakumar where he says 40 to 45 crore rupees were seized from DKS's house during income tax raids. In the audio, the Congress leader allegedly claims to have properties both in India